Well, hello, all ye faithful in the fandom out there, in the MCU fandom and the DCU fandom, whatever fandom you're a part of. Welcome, as always, to the MCU's Bleeding Edge. We have a really eclectic and bubbly and energetic panel here tonight, or whatever time of day or night or morning or whatever it is when you end up watching this video. But this is the MCU's Bleeding Edge. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And besides that, let me go ahead and launch into the show. We are going to be doing an MCU Phase 4, Phase 5 preview, and a little bit maybe of some recap, too, of like what we've already had happen so far in Phase 4. But to start things off, just for introductions, I've got David from the Geek News Now network. Thank you, David, for being on. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
David is a first timer on the MCU's Bleeding Edge, so we welcome you here. Secondly, we've got Jermaine. Jermaine is the host of New Love podcast on Anchor. Thank you very much, Jermaine, for joining us.
No problem. Good to be here.
And it's very good to have you on here, brother. I'm glad that we were able to put this together. And then, of course, we have my girl, my friend, Sally the MCU girl, who is the host of Sally the MCU Girl podcast on Anchor, and is a good friend of the MCU's Bleeding Edge, and was totally clutch for me the other night when like my back went out and I had to like walk off the show, and her and Lord Deathman stepped in and guided the rest of the show out on their own and everything and whatnot, and held it down for me, which I really appreciated, Sally. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Most definitely. You are such a kind person.
Thank you.
So basically, y'all, to start things off on this YouTube video / podcast, we're going to go ahead and launch into some trailers having to do with a little bit of what we're going to be covering, basically, during this show. So what am I going to start with here? Let's see. I'll tell you what. I'm going to throw in something really cool to start off that's not even MCU related at all, because this is how I do it. I like to make things interesting. So here we go.
Okay. It's just Rob Pattinson on a normal Tuesday, to be honest. That's how he courted Bella in Twilight. That's terrifying her.
That end of that trailer where it changes the view of the guy in the car to like up from to horizontal, and then you still see Robert Pattinson walking as Batman like towards him, and then they bring in the Batman logo with it. Oh man, that is freaking epic, dude. And like seriously, that Batmobile, that muscle car Batmobile is freaking nasty looking.
That's badass.
It is. Like seriously, I love it. I love that version. What do you think, David? What are your thoughts?
I'm just curious because I know one thing that a lot of Batman fans complain about is, are we going to get another origin story? Are we going to have to see Bruce Wayne's parents get killed in that alley?
Nope.
Yet again.
Nope.
I mean, is this going to be one of those things where it's like, okay, well, we're gonna do the origin because we have to, or is it going to be like Spider-Man?
Nope.
Spider-Man to this day, the MCU Spider-Man anyway, has not done an origin story yet, which is great. It's fine. There's mystery there, mystique.
It's year 2 Batman. It goes right in at year 2 Batman. He's in his second year as Batman. He's been Batman for a year. It starts off with him as his second year as Batman.
So as far as I don't know. I'm still not sold on Robert Pattinson. I really am not. I mean, maybe he seemed to be good like as Batman. I can't see him as Bruce Wayne, but
honestly,
I don't know.
He seemed more like a Joker to me. Just looking at him, he looked like a Joker.
Who? Bruce Wayne as Robert Pattinson? That's just Rob Pattinson on a normal day. Normal day on set.
Although I will say,
terrify these people. Oh yeah, I've done that before. It's fine.
He has he had the one line in there that I got goosebumps, and when he goes, "I am vengeance," because that was you had Batman the animated series, "I am vengeance, I am the night," and in fact, I went to Dallas Fan Expo here last month, and I got to sit in on a panel with I can't think of his name, who did the voice of Batman in the original animated series.
That's cool.
Anyway, so he walked on stage, and the first thing he did was go, "I am vengeance, I am the night," in the voice. And I was like, "Oh, so cool."
That's
I'll
awesome.
say though, as a trailer, that trailer was awesome. Like it gave me everything that I needed, especially that scene when he was just walking and they were shooting at him, and it was just like nothing, just Kevlar
Yeah.
dust all over his body.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was what was up.
What if he got a bullet like in this range of his face?
No, Jermaine, go ahead though. No, give us your full opinion on that trailer.
Sorry.
I mean, and then I'll go to you, Sally.
Sorry.
So the trailer in and of itself was awesome. The music I'm one of those people, like I pay attention to the music because the music it dictates my emotion, especially when I'm watching something. And so as a trailer, it got me really, really into it, and it made me look past the fact that it was, I forget his name, on
Robert Pattinson.
No, that's not his name. His name, whatever his name was in Twilight, that's his name to me.
Edward Cullen.
Edward
I
Cullen.
hate him. I hate
And
him.
so, well, and so you just looking at him, I was like, is this a joke? Like, I was like, is this the Joker? And then the next thought that I had was the guy in the at the very end who was in the car. Was that supposed to be the Penguin?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and you know who's playing that? You know who's playing them?
Who was it?
Colin Farrell.
Are you
Who?
serious?
Yep, that's Colin Farrell.
Okay.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Colin
What?
Farrell was he played you know what? He played Bullseye in the Daredevil movie.
Yep.
That's not giving me anything else.
He,
Anything else?
God, he
So
was,
you couldn't
he
tell
was,
that was Robert Pattinson as Batman in the trailer?
Who, me? Oh no, I
Yeah.
knew.
Oh, okay, you could tell. So
Yeah.
what do you think he looks all right as Batman?
He look honestly. When I look at him, I think Joker. Like honestly, like I don't think Batman. I don't think Bruce Wayne. I don't. None of those things come to mind.
So you don't think he comes off as Batman when he plays Batman in the suit and everything?
Not right now. I'm certain that once we get into it, my assumption is that this is going to be more than just one movie with him. And so because I'm so stuck on Twilight, that's how I see him. But the more we get into it, my mind.
Well, check this out. Check this out real quick. And then this is going to be the last DC-orientated thing that we're going to do. Okay, so who saw that trailer before now?
Oh, before now?
Yeah. You saw it, David?
Yes,
I
sir.
haven't looked into
Okay.
any of it.
But you saw it for the first time just now, Sally, right?
Yeah.
And same thing, Jermaine?
Yes, first time.
So what do you think, Jermaine, when he stomped that dude in the trailer and then double tapped him on the ground real quick before he dropped his I am vengeance line? Did that seem pretty Batman to you?
All of this, he looked like Batman. The entire trailer. I think it was because they focused at the very beginning of the trailer. They focused more on his voice than his face. So when I finally saw him, it was like, yes, this is him. And it was almost like as soon as Sally said, and now he's Batman. It was like, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, he's got it in him. But go ahead, Sally. What do you think?
I still got that, like, it's the last time I heard Robert Pattinson try an American accent, he was Edward Cullen, and now Bruce Wayne sounds like Edward Cullen, and it's scaring me.
So it didn't give
Like, I'm
you any
so
kind of-
used to Christian Bale.
It didn't do anything for you when he like double tapped that dude real quick and like beat the shit out of him and whatnot.
Well,
It was
I
like,
mean,
am
that was
vengeance.
badass. That was cool. That was sexy. Edward Cullen is vengeance.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, he obviously like can do Batman. Like, you know, he looks pretty damn good to me.
He did.
And the voice
But,
sounds good to me too.
The voice just sounds like Robert Pattinson doing an American accent, which to
No,
me,
he sounds like that.
No.
as
No, he
the
sounds like
12-year-old
Batman.
twihard,
That's
I was
not
a
how he
twihard.
sounds.
Oh, okay.
That's not how he sounds in the trailers at all. He does not sound like Twilight or whatever. He sounds like Batman.
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
of
if
course,
you think about it,
when he's Bruce Wayne, he's like every Bruce Wayne's going to talk differently than like the Bruce Wayne before that. But as
Good
far as him
point.
as Batman goes, when he was with like talking like Batman, he sounded deep
I
voice
am
like
vengeance.
Batman.
Yeah, he definitely sounded kind of, yeah. But like,
But
if you think
overall-
about it,
Sally, are you excited by seeing the trailers? Are you excited to see this Batman film?
excited in what way, Jeff?
Like, do you think it's going to be a good film?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, David, what do you think? Is it going to be a good movie?
You know what? As a Batman fan, I'm kind of biased on this. I would say it's probably going to be decent. I'm still not buying him as Bruce Wayne. As Batman, yes, all day long. But as Bruce Wayne, there were several clips of him as Bruce Wayne, and he looked like a skinny little wiry. He looked like he should have been the Riddler.
I'm with you on that. That was my exact response the first time I saw that trailer. I was like, okay, he looks all right as Batman, but as Bruce Wayne, it just doesn't work.
No.
He looks like a kid in high school who just got a haircut, gave himself a haircut for the first time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what do you think, Jermaine? Are you excited to see
emo,
the Batman
emo
film?
kid, an
I'm
emo
going.
kid, black
Yes.
makeup.
Oh,
Mhm.
I'll be there. Like if it's in the theater, COVID is over, I'll be there.
Oh, it'll be in the theater. It'll be in the theater.
Yeah.
I will be there.
Said only in theaters.
Oh, it
Well,
is
that-
only in theaters. I was going to say, have they announced whether they're going to launch it on HBO Max or not?
I think it's going to be strictly in theaters at first, and then it'll go to HBO Max.
Yeah.
Taylor's gonna watch
I
it.
want to see it in theaters. I think it looks like a really good movie. I love the Riddler as the main villain. I do. He looks great. I forget the name of the actor that's playing the Riddler in that film. I forget his name. He's got a I'm having a brain fart. He was the guy that was in There Will Be Blood.
Hang on, I'm trying to look it up right now.
I'm gonna Google it. See which one of us gets it first.
Is it Paul Dano?
Yeah, Paul Dano.
The Batman.
Paul Dano. Yeah. He's
I
great.
win.
I love him as the Riddler. I do.
Oh, and
Okay.
Andy Serkis is going to be in it too. So
Yeah, Andy
he's in
Serkis.
everything. So
He's Alfred.
he's Alfred.
All right, here we go. Next one. Back to
5 years ago, Thanos erased half of the population of the universe. But the people of this planet brought everyone back with a snap of a finger. The sudden return of the population provided the necessary energy for the emergence to begin.
How long do we have?
7 days.
We're Eternals. We came here 7,000 years ago to protect humans from the deviants.
Why didn't you guys help fight Thanos? Or any war, or all the other terrible things throughout history?
We were instructed not to interfere in any human conflicts unless deviants are involved.
By who?
We need to find the others.
I haven't seen some of them for centuries.
Hi.
Hello.
This is what the end of the world looks like. At least we have front row seats.
You know what's never saved the planet? Your sarcasm.
We have loved these people since the day we arrived. When you love something, you protect it.
You can't protect.
We're Eternals. For 7,000 years, we protected humans from the deviants.
Why didn't you guys help fight Thanos? Or any war, all the other terrible things throughout history?
We were instructed not to interfere until now.
You hear that? Eternals assemble.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, who's your gardener?
This planet and these people have changed all of us. When you love something, you protect it. For eternity.
Marvel Studios' Eternals.
What's your superpower?
You know that your babysitting privileges are completely revoked.
Rated PG-13. Get tickets now.
5 years ago, Thanos erased half of the universe. But the people of this planet brought everyone back with a snap of a finger. Humanity once believed we were gods. With what this planet now faces, they will believe again.
Eternals assemble.
What's the plan?
We fight.
Marvel Studios' Eternals. Rated PG-13.
Hi there, everyone.
Tickets are now on sale.
Okay, I'm gonna cut that off there because that damn thing is long. It's like 5 minutes. It would have just kept on going. But I wanted to go ahead and cut it off there because I do have some other trailers for later. But I wanted to play the Eternals first simply because although we're going to get into phase 4 and phase 5, and I want to ask you guys some questions about what you're looking forward to in the next couple phases of the MCU and whatnot, and what we all prepared for the show, I do want to mention the Eternals and bring them up first just because they're next in line as far as films that are coming out. And in less than 3 weeks, they'll be out in theaters. It'll be out in theaters. So I feel like this is a great thing to start off with after the Batman stuff, just because I know that in the case of David's a comic book fan, just like I am. He has that background. Sally doesn't have that. And then Jermaine, you don't have that either. You're newer MCU fans, which is fine. But I wanted to basically start off with the Eternals because I think it's interesting because I think David would tell you that even with us being old school comic book fans, I'm no like very knowledgeable person about the Eternals at all. I never read any of those comics. So, I don't know about you, David.
I'll even go so far as to say when the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie came out, I had no clue. I was completely. You're dealing with an obscure group from the Marvel universe. I mean, the mega diehard super fans are going to know exactly who this is. But as far as just somebody who you used to walk into 7-Eleven and used to be able to buy comic books at 7-Eleven, but they never had the Eternals at 7-Eleven. They always had Spider-Man and Captain America, and they had the big ones. They had the big sellers. It was the only thing you could buy there. But as far as the Eternals go, no clue. But the way that the Guardians of the Galaxy turned out, as well put together as that movie was, I'm looking forward to this one. Just because I like the idea of the group, and I like the idea of basically I'm starting with a fresh canvas here. You just paint me a good picture and I'll be good with it. I don't need to know the backstory, but I don't need to know the comic book aspect of it.
Well, they're going to flush all that out in the movie anyway, because based off the rumors I've heard, and I'm not saying that they're 100% because Marvel Studios hasn't confirmed them, but it's been made very clear that the way the movie is going to work out is it's going to be 2 parts. The first part is going to be them in history, explaining like their backstory and everything like that, like throughout the thousands of years before current time in the Marvel universe. Then the second half of the story is going to be set in like the right after Endgame, a month after Endgame or whatever, and go from there. And it's going to be 2 separate parts basically. So it is a amazing ensemble cast. It is. There's a lot of talented actors and actresses that are on this team. And I couldn't even sit there and tell you, even if you gave me 10 minutes to do it, I wouldn't be able to name all of the Eternals off the top of my head. But going to you, Sally. What do you think about the Eternals? Watching the trailers, like, does it do anything for you?
This was my first time watching them, like, at all, like, first experience, and I know it's shocking. I haven't been this excited for a single movie since Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I just started fangirling really hard. Really hard.
Cool. That's good to hear.
Like, it's like a fantasy thing, right? Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
I mean, kind of. It's not really fantasy because, I mean, they've been around for a long time. Like, they're not new.
Yeah.
Like, they've been on Earth for ever since the beginning.
I look at it kind of like Thor. You know, when Thor was, he said, we used to come to this planet and you called us gods, and there was the whole thing. And Thor is a Norse god, and I think some of the characters taken from the Eternals are also from like Greek mythology and the different mythology from around the world. And I think it's going to try and tie them all to, okay, well, you've got the Greeks over here and they've got their stuff, and you've got the Italians over here and they got their stuff, and we're just going to it's going to be, oh, well, that's why they worship, that's why Zeus was around, or I think Icarus is one of them, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no, they basically they were like a massive aspect and part and key to like all these massive events in history that occurred. And we're probably going to see in the beginning of the movie, probably, I would assume, we're probably going to see Atlantis being sunk with Namor, the Submariner, and everything. We're probably going to see potentially maybe like the pharaohs and like during ancient Egypt with like Ramatut Kang, potentially maybe and then even Al Saba Noor, which is Ramatut's second in command, and that's Apocalypse from the X-Men, which we might see them very well.
Cool.
But what do you think, Jermaine? What do you think about? Was that your first time seeing the Eternals trailers?
No, it wasn't my first time seeing the trailer. I think I had only seen one of the three that we just saw. But much like Sally, I was immediately intrigued, mostly because I had never heard of them. And so my imagination soared. And so I was able to, number one, give them the benefit of the doubt. And, had Angelina Jolie. I mean, who doesn't love Angelina Jolie? So
I hear you.
So yeah. And then so also they have like two dudes who are like bona fide comedians. And so it's like, it's going to be funny too. Action is like, this is going to be great. Like, for real.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I think that's the proper mentality right there, is what you just said, where you said, I've never heard of them, so I'm excited about it because I'm intrigued. And I think that's what's going to make this such a good movie, is that a lot of people have not heard of them and have no clue. And this is something new and different for them.
Do you think that these trailers gave the newer fans enough to work with in terms of being excited to see this movie? Do you feel like the trailers gave enough to explain what's kind of going on?
I think the star power alone is going to draw the fans in.
Oh yeah, Sally, I don't know how you didn't see Angelina Jolie. Come on, man.
Which one is she again?
When Angelina Jolie is on screen, she stands out. Like,
wait, which one was she? Was she the blonde one?
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Listen, if you're trying to tell people that you're bisexual, well, then you got some serious messed up radar or something. You can't
To be fair, Scarlett Johansson and Chris Evans were on the screen when I figured that out.
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not by myself, and I could tell like which guys were attractive during the scenes of the trailer and weren't, and everything and whatnot. So
I just don't know what Angelina Jolie looks like when she's not Maleficent.
Okay, and
I need you to stop.
Okay, I'll stop now.
See, y'all are all overlooking. Okay, Angelina Jolie, yeah, she's fine. Hello, Selma Hayek.
Yeah.
She was
sexy. I just don't want to say anything about Selma Hayek because the stuff I have to say is beyond Disney Plus rating. You know what I'm saying?
She's sexy. She's sexy.
That was her?
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Salma Hayek's
Kind
in
of
the
like the
movie.
narrator. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
You can't miss her, man. Just look for the chick with the biggest tits on screen, and she's there. That's her.
Of course.
Not hard.
And then go home and watch Dogma so you can see the striptease and everything's good.
And Angelina even gained some weight for this movie. Like, she doesn't look like a crackhead anymore like she did a couple of years ago. She was looking rough, man. That would have been
Wait, which
rough.
one? Angelina Jolie?
Yeah, she was looking rough, man, a while back there.
She looks great now.
Well,
she looks great.
I mean, hey, she does look really
You
great.
have to out me as bisexual. I mean, spoiler alert, I'm not straight.
Well, that's awesome. We're all about LGBT pride over here at the MCU's Bleeding Edge.
Let's all be gay here.
As long as it leads to me hooking up with some lesbians or whatever at the end of the night, I'm good.
Trust me, Jeff, the lesbians aren't interested.
You'd be surprised how many lesbians have been interested in me before, my dear. You got a lot to learn. You're a young girl.
I love it.
Shut up.
Believe me, those lesbians, man, 10, 15 years go by without any of that good D. You know, they start sniffing around after a while.
Oh, hell no.
I'm gonna leave it right there. So moving on from the Eternals, and I will tell you this: I'm very optimistic about the Eternals. I think that visually, the movie looks stunning. The scenes look stunning. Some of the shots are epic. And we didn't even see the Celestials in those trailers. The Celestials are in this movie. They're like they're like the gods of like the MCU. Like, they built everything.
Is that like Legion?
Holy shit.
It's like okay, so in Guardians of the Galaxy they went to Nowhere, and Nowhere was the head of a Celestial. Ego is a Celestial.
Yeah.
They're like the creators of the universe. They're the powerhouses. When Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, when they were dealing with when the Collector told them the story of the stones and where they all came from, the guy that hit the ground with the Power Stone, that was a Celestial.
Yeah.
So the thought is, I think that when the snap happened and then they brought everybody back, that basically set things in motion to where another Celestial will be being born.
Yes.
And they're thinking it's going to happen on Earth, which would in turn destroy the planet.
They're talking about the celestial egg when the guy's like, how long do we have? And she's like, 5 days. That means 5 days until like the celestial egg is born or whatever. And then like Earth is destroyed or whatever in the process of this celestial being born. You know what I mean? And essentially, you know, all the snaps, the Thanos snap, the Hulk snap, the Iron Man snap, they created all this cosmic energy or whatever that literally like fueled the like gestation of the celestial egg. Like, it powered it to the point where it came.
And all three of those snaps happened on Earth.
Yes.
They happened on Earth.
Yes.
That's been the epicenter.
So that's
the only
like
snap that didn't happen was when he snapped the stones away.
Yeah, that's what actually like supercharged the celestial egg to where it's close to actually like, you know, opening or giving birth or whatever. And so basically, the Celestials may end up actually being the bad guys in this movie. To be honest with you, it might not be the deviants, those mutant looking things or whatever.
Wasn't Ego a bad guy though?
Yeah, but Ego was like a baby Celestial. He wasn't like one of the big Celestials like some of the other ones are. Some of them are so powerful that they can just like destroy planets and stuff like that.
They would
give Chris Pratt's mother cancer. I think that's pretty evil.
Okay, so moving on from the Eternals,
I'm
although
kidding.
the Eternals may actually come up. We'll see. So as far as MCU Phase 4 and Phase 5 go, just to start things off with you guys, with everything that's out there that we know that's available coming up in Disney Plus, that's coming up with the films, we're going to have, you know, we're going to have Guardians of the Galaxy 3, we're going to have Wakanda Forever, we're going to have the Marvels, we're going to have Ant-Man, Quantumania, we're going to have Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Spider-Man 3, and then we're going to have Moon Knight in 2022. We're going to get Miss Marvel in 2022 after Hawkeye. We're going to get What If Season 2 in 2022. And then Secret Invasion, Ironheart, Armor Wars, the Dora Milaje Wakanda Disney Plus series or whatever that they're planning on doing.
They're
Out
doing
of
a
all
what?
of that, what's that?
Sorry, nothing.
Oh, okay.
Go on.
No, but out of all of that, just to start things off, and I'll go with you, Jermaine. For you, like out of what you know is out there, what are like maybe the 2 or 3 or 4 different like titles or like TV shows or movies that you're really excited about or looking forward to that are coming out in Phase 4 and Phase 5?
Okay, so besides Eternals, only because we've already discussed Eternals. Eternals was on my list, but I'll go to Moon Knight, and the reason I was so excited about it was because of the use of Egyptology. That's just a part of history that most people don't even recognize. Just the fact that Egyptology basically gave birth to the Romans and Greek mythology, and so the fact that they're delving into that that has me psyched. And then also Armor Wars, I'm just excited to see Don Cheadle, especially in a leading role. I just want to see his acting chops in the Marvel universe. I didn't really get to see it in the past. And then also Mahershala Ali in Blade. Like, come on, like Blade was like the it before Marvel was the it. And so now, Mahershala Ali being added to Blade, that's gonna be awesome.
But nobody can ever touch Wesley Snipes though as Blade.
Of course,
it doesn't even matter. But I mean, but I'm still sure it'll be great. But no, that's a great list. And if you guys haven't noticed, we were just joined by this strange dude that just popped up out of nowhere. What's up, William? How you doing, man?
Uh-oh.
There he is. William is the host of
I can't hear him.
William, we can't hear you, brother. Uh-oh. This is gonna be just like that pre-studio situation with me and that guy Jeff. It's gonna be like Jeff number 2.
Oh God! But you're Jeff number 1, so he's Jeff number 3.
I'm just playing. I'm serious. William knows how to handle his business, so he'll get this rectified quick. William, can you hear us? Yeah? Yeah, just change your input or your output, man. But anyways, so continuing on, yeah, man, I definitely am with you with that. I feel like you picked basically like the really safe stuff to pick out of Phase 4 and Phase 5. I mean, like, anybody's gonna freaking like pick the Eternals to put out there.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
There you are. There he is. So no, but William is the host of the Geek Gauntlet, and he is on Geek News Now, just like I'm now on Geek News Now. I'm part of the fraternity, and thank you, William. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me here, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
No problem, man. I wanted to make up for me missing out on your show the other night and try to, give it back. You know what I mean? And bring it back.
Man.
So
Appreciate it, man.
But no, listen, I mean, Jermaine, you made some safe choices. I mean, Moon Knight is like, come on now. It's like he's like the Batman of Marvel. So like
I'm scared.
Hold on. So like I'm a newbie, right? And so I've never heard of Moon Knight. Like for real, I haven't. Today was the first time I'd ever heard of it. So
I got issues with Moon Knight, man. I don't know if they're gonna be able to do that character right.
William, did you hear Jermaine's list of stuff that he's excited for?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
He did some good stuff. He did.
He did. But I'm just concerned with Moon Knight because we all know what we know what Moon Knight is as a character, and I don't know if you're gonna be able to put him in a kiddie pool like that. That's my issue.
Are you gonna Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Disney Plus?
Yeah, go ahead, David. Go ahead, David. Go ahead, David.
I'm kind of in agreement with William there. I'm looking at it going, that's almost like saying we're going to give Deadpool a limited series on Disney Plus. And it's
You can't do that.
You can't do that.
Oh man, do not get Deadpool involved with Disney. He will.
That mouse already involved. He's already there.
That mouse is going to die.
Deadpool's
and
already
Marvel will
already
rise.
with Disney. That's already a done deal. Deadpool,
How much has that mouse destroyed? He destroyed Power Rangers. He's just going down the list.
And then Marvel is going to rise from that mouse's ashes.
Okay. So let me wrap up with Jermaine here real quick. So Jermaine, I think that's a good list, man. I really like what you picked and everything and whatnot. I think the Eternals is a good pick. We'll see what happens with it. But I mean, I'm a little pessimistic with it, but I think it will be a really good movie. Moving on from you, getting over to David. David, same thing with you, man. What's your list? What's your 3, 4, 5 properties, titles that are going to be coming out that you're really psyched about?
I'm gonna go with my number one's gonna be Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I cannot wait. We were talking about man crushes and everything. Benedict Cumberbatch's my man crush right there. Oh, he's just amazing in anything and everything that he does. So so Doctor Strange is going to be one. I think Ant-Man will probably be up there, and most likely Spider-Man as well. And the reason I'm touching on these ones is, you know, they started the whole thing with the multiverse with WandaVision, and kind of with WandaVision they touched on it a little bit, and then they did it a lot with Loki, to where they're dealing with this. Oh well, we've got infinite realities, and What If has really expanded it, and I'm anxious to see how they're going to, or if they're going to wrap it up. And I know that those are going to be the 3: Quantumania, Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange, where there a lot more will be explained there, and hopefully we'll get a lot more explanations than, okay, that's explained, but now I've got 15 other questions going on over here. So
hopefully.
Hopefully everything is taken care of. Armor Wars, yeah, I'm not because of Don Cheadle, but because of Sam Rockwell. I need him to come back for Armor Wars.
Facts.
As Justin Hammer.
Facts.
Just because.
Facts.
Yes.
I mean, I love Don Cheadle. Don't get me wrong, but Sam Rockwell is amazing too. And
I agree. Hammer. You can't have an Armor Wars movie without him.
I know, right?
You can't.
So, Armor Wars, I'm looking forward to. So.
Okay.
That's about it, I think.
That's about it? You don't have anything else that's lingering there on the outside?
Maybe Secret Wars or Secret Invasion. And the only reason I say that is because they started doing that with it was, I mean, they introduced the Skrulls and Captain Marvel, and then they took it a step further in Far From Home, when they said, okay, it's not really Samuel Jackson, it's not really Nick Fury. It's just a Skrull in disguise. And so I was honestly thinking this whole next 2 phases was going to be, okay, they're gearing up for the Secret Invasion, and it's going to be great. And then all of a sudden multiverses all come out. And I'm like, are you just going to leave the Secret Invasion?
He goes, you going to leave Secret Invasion out there?
Come on. I mean, what are you
going
doing?
to what?
Please don't Secret Invasion out.
Don't put it to the wayside. Just bring it on.
I know, right?
Yeah, man.
And
but like the multiverse, pretty cool.
But the multiverse. So with the multiverse and the Secret Invasion, you got 2 different storylines going on there, and a big storyline.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think that you should have sacrificed one for the other, and say, okay, 4 and 5, we're going to do Secret Invasion, but when we get into 6 and 7, then we'll start multiverse stuff.
That's so far away, though.
I know.
It took 10 years to do phases 1 through 4.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Sally, the way they're cranking these movies out, I mean,
right about that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sally, since you want to run your damn mouth all the time, I'll just go to you. I'm just busting your balls. It's all good.
I know.
I mean, I just figure you're already talking anyway, so I might as well just go ahead and switch over to you.
Let me think. The 3 I'm most excited for, definitely the Eternals now. I don't know if that's a cop-out. I'm really excited for Miss Marvel because representation and because I think it's a teenage girl playing Miss Marvel, which is very cool. I would have killed for that at like 15, 16 years old. Still would, to be honest. And Ironheart sounds cool.
She's got so much hate from she's got so much hate though.
Just because Pepper isn't enough for me. I need to see more women in iron suits.
But she's gotten so much hate from the comic community though.
I'm not in the comic community, I'm in the movie community. Two
Okay.
separate worlds to me.
Well, she's gotten so much hate in the comics. I think it's unwarranted myself, but you know.
What I'm not excited for, like cinematically, it seems.
Wait. Let me get to that. Stay to the positive stuff. What else? What else are you positive about?
Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. I can't wait to see the boys. What happened to Billy and Tommy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. She wanted to go back. She wanted to answer the question.
I don't think we'll see him. I don't think we'll see him in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
You don't think so? I think that's key to where we will see him because she's going to be in.
Wanda's going to be in it.
Where else would you put him? Where else would you put him?
Yeah, seriously. After credit scene again? Like, no, don't do that to me. Don't you dare.
They're with Mephisto or Nightmare in the Dark Dimension, and it doesn't matter what. Wanda's a newbie with the Darkhold and everything. She doesn't know shit. So at the end of the day, she's not going to be able to just go do whatever she wants with the Darkhold.
She was learning it though toward the end of the movie, until the end of the series.
Listen,
and I'm sure Strange has some input on it too.
You saw her head moving back and forth, back and forth.
Mephisto.
To be fair, on playing Wanda's advocate here, she did just realize she was a witch, like in that universe.
That's fair, but I'm
like
just saying,
in Westview.
Mephisto has been around since like the Celestials. Like he's one of the old gods of the MCU.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
You know what I'm
wait,
saying?
what the hell is going on with Willie and Tommy then? What?
I don't know what you're talking about, Sally.
Well,
I want to see them. I want to know.
I'm just saying, where else would you put them? I mean,
where?
Well, no, I mean, we'll see what happens. I just don't think it's going to happen because I don't think it's going to be that easy for her to get to them.
Oh, good point. Solid.
I don't think it's going to be that easy.
Maybe Multiverse of Madness. Nightmare will be the villain in Multiverse of Madness.
The big bad.
Yeah, maybe he'll have Billy and Tommy on the leash like Agatha did.
You just say the leash?
Yeah, the leash is like...
When the multiverse goes into madness and everything, it's going to get really crazy, and there's going to be characters and people and entities coming out of nowhere from all kinds of places and whatnot. So, like, I think things are going to get pretty intense for Scarlet in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness,
Wanda?
because I think she's going to be. I think she's going to be. I don't think she's going to be the big villain of the movie. But I do think that all of the different beings that are going to come from the multiverse are going to come after her to take her power.
If they make Wanda a villain, they will have done her dirty.
Well, either way.
I agree with that.
Yes.
Don't do that to her.
So what do you think? What do you think, William? Going to you, man. What's your 3 or 4 that you're stoked for in Phase 4 and Phase 5?
Well, some of mine are a little unconventional outside of one. I want to see Eternals. I've been waiting to see that for a minute, but then this is when mine takes a turn. I want to see She-Hulk. I think she's been very underrated. She's maybe had 1 or 2 good comic runs, and that's about it. So I want to see what they do with She-Hulk. That's going to be very interesting to see, in my opinion. I want to see Secret Invasion. I do want to see. I know it's going to be somewhere down the road, but I do want to see that. Man, what else? Real quick. I do want to see Ironheart, because I think Ironheart I think she's got a lot of unwanted hate to me, because I don't understand where the hate is coming from with her. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I like the character, so I want to see what they do with her too. But those would be my 4, and I just want to make sure that they get the Eternals right, damn it, because they did the Eternals wrong in that little ABC series that they did. They did them wrong. They did them dirty. So I want to see them get the Eternals right.
Most definitely. What about stuff that's kind of on the bubble for you? That's kind of like that you're maybe half like 50-50 on.
Oh my goodness. Ms. Marvel. I'm sort of kind of 50-50 on it because I don't know if she can. I know where she's coming from. I know she's an Eternal, but I don't know if she's a big enough draw to have a movie on her own. I don't know if she's a strong enough character for that. That's about the only one that I'm 50-50 on.
Okay. Out of everything that William just went ahead and threw out there and that Sally threw out there, Jermaine, David, do you guys have any comments or any thoughts on any of the stuff that they just went ahead and dropped? Go ahead, David.
Not really. I think William's right as far as the Miss Marvel goes. I like the concept of Miss Marvel, but as far as her carrying a movie right now, I don't think it's time. It's like when they did Spider-Man with Civil War. They didn't give him his own movie, or Black Panther even for that matter. They both appeared, but they didn't have their own movies until afterwards. And that was a good way to introduce the characters to the MCU. Introduce them, say, okay, here you are, here's Black Panther, and here's Spider-Man, and hey, here's their movies now, and everybody's excited. So, Miss Marvel, that's kind of and so help me God, if they give Squirrel Girl a movie, I'm just gonna give up on life.
What's wrong with Squirrel Girl, David?
Listen, Squirrel Girl, boy, hey, underrated, man. Underrated. Don't be disrespecting Squirrel Girl, man. Ooh, don't do that.
Is my audio suddenly really, really bad?
She is underrated, man. Underrated.
So earlier today on Rizzle, there was this guy that put up this video about Moon Knight where he was like, yeah, I'm so excited for Moon Knight and everything. I think he has multiple personality disorder, and I'm hoping that his different personalities will make out and kiss each other and shit like that and everything. And all this stuff. And he was going in that direction. And I was like, I responded to him and I was like, okay, well, I mean, Moon Knight's straight in the comic book, but like, I'm not really down with the whole gender bending of like the characters or whatever, just for.
You never know. They announced yesterday. They announced
depends on the authors, really. It depends on who's fronting.
And you never know.
This guy wanted some like incestual stuff.
Hey,
he wanted,
listen.
God.
and you never know because they made John Kent bisexual. So
that's right.
You never know.
Multiple personality disorder anymore.
They just announced that the other
identity.
With Marvel Comics, you never know what the hell might happen.
You never know.
In the morning and some crazy shit might go down.
Yeah.
Who knows? They'll have friggin' Spider-Man. Peter Parker will be blowing dudes in the alley for crack or something. All
B16 Joe or Jeff, stop.
It'll be.
Stop it. He's 16.
It'll be Peter Parker. Peter Parker and Miles Morales will be the new power couple.
He's 16. He's 16.
Wouldn't that be illegal?
This is a child.
Like, aren't they like teenagers anyway? So like,
this is a child.
Peter, tell him come. Peter, tell him
Peter
come to
must
daddy.
protect from you, man.
Peter, tell him come to daddy.
Dr. Octopus will swoop in with his arms.
Come to daddy.
And grab him up and be like, I got you. I got you, boy.
Okay. Now I know that I need to go protect Tom Holland at all costs.
I think Tom Holland is safe from the damn supervillains and everything in the movies. I'll tell you right now, go on TikTok and check out some of those young women on freaking TikTok that like are obsessed with Tom Holland. That's why
I've seen him.
Man, I better stay away from it. I keep telling my son,
I was one of them, but for Sebastian Stan. And
I keep telling my son, you better stay away from the TikTok girls. They ain't no good. You better stay away from them.
I'm telling you right now, I'm not jealous, but if I look like Tom Holland, I would just be straight slaving chicks. Like, I mean, it would be no joke.
Why you gotta do that?
It's a good thing, ladies, that I do not look like Tom Holland, because if I did, it would not be good for you on Tinder. Your shit would be jacked up.
You wouldn't be wearing no costume. You wouldn't. You be wearing the symbiote suit in all different kind of ways. All different kind of ways with the symbiote suit. You wouldn't wear no cloth uniform.
I'd be turning you so far out, your goddamn soul would be turned out.
Hey, if I look like Scarlett Johansson, my girlfriend would be very happy.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. We're just joking over here, folks, on the MCU's Bleeding Edge. I would never do anything like that to any woman. I'm a gentleman.
Unless you ask for it.
I don't want Papa Feige to get mad at me or whatever. For covering the MCU in my way of doing things. But okay, so as far as for me, what like I'm really looking forward to, and I'll be honest with you, I don't have like a set list because there's so much good stuff coming up that I'm optimistic about. It's hard to pick like 2 things or 3 things or whatever. I'm really excited for Moon Knight, but like William said, I'm pessimistic because I'm afraid that they're not going to be able to do it the right way.
That's what made me mad. That's what made me mad about Static Shock. Because if you go back and look at his history, comic history, he was nothing like he was in the cartoon, and nothing like he was in Young Justice. He was drinking, cussing, and all that stuff. Then you get him in his show, and then you get him on Young Justice, and he's just a normal, everyday, happy-go-lucky kid. He wasn't like that. He was not like that in the comic book.
Moon Knight will be good. That I know. Moon Knight will be a good series. It'll be done well. It'll be good. Yeah. But I'm just telling you, it might not be the best Disney Plus series that's been made, or like the best one that's going to emerge out of like a 2-year period. Like I think it could be.
They sacrifice
it the right way.
They're sacrificing something.
Yeah, because with Moon Knight is like, again, he's the Marvel Batman. So I mean, he is violent. Like he does like kill people and stuff like that. You know, like he does have sex. You know, like he's just like Daredevil. Like he does like, you know, meet women and like, you know, and like shag and everything and whatever.
I mean, if they want us to believe Bucky Barnes is not shagging, then Disney's got another thing coming.
Why, do you have a crush on Bucky Barnes, Sally?
Just admit it.
Isn't it obvious at this point?
Just admit it.
Black Widow and Bucky. Just
let the world know.
I thought wait a minute, Sally. I thought you were into DILFs.
You don't get to say that on here.
We can say
okay,
that.
I'm just kidding. I'm
we
just
can
joking.
say that? Oh my goodness.
Sally never told me that.
Oh my God.
But it's okay.
You
So
can say
anyways,
that? Oh
I told you I was going to get you, Sally. Remember about 30, 40 minutes ago?
Technically, Steve could be a dad. So
Jermaine,
Steve Rogers.
You see how we do it over here on the MCU's Bleeding Edge, Jermaine?
I see it and I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah,
listen,
we don't play around on
listen. Ain't nothing wrong with you. Ain't nothing wrong with you.
That was a private conversation, Jeff.
Well,
listen.
David's going to go back to Damon and afterwards, after the show and everything and whatnot, and be like, I don't know about this Jeff guy, man. I don't know.
Listen, Sally. There ain't nothing wrong with you loving Bucky Barnes. Everybody knows I love Scarlett Johansson. So ain't nothing wrong with you loving Bucky Barnes.
William, did you warn those guys at Geek News Now what they were getting into with me? Did you let them know real quick?
I did let them know. Maybe I should have, but I let them know.
Be in the peanut butter in a Bucky Natasha sandwich. I don't know why I want to be peanut butter.
Okay, well, do you know what, Sally? You're too young to be talking like that, my dear. Like,
oh, dang! He put you on age timeout. Dang!
I like to bust Sally's balls, man.
He put you on age timeout. He's sending you to your room. Oh my gosh! He's sending you to your room, Sally.
No.
Fight the power, girl. Fight the power.
Me and Sally are good friends, so I can rag on her if I want.
We're friends.
Fight the power.
We're buddies.
But that's not surprising, I'm sure, to William, because William knows that I like to have a personal relationship with everybody that I record with and everything. You know what I mean? Like that's how I do it. But anyway, I'll tell you what. So Moon Knight could be great, but it might not be spectacular. Just because it's not going to be able to be done the right way. It's not going to be able to be done rated R or like the Netflix Daredevil was.
It'd be in the hall of the very good.
Yes.
but it wasn't great.
I am very optimistic in Miss Marvel, believe it or not.
I have a crush on Bucky.
Nice.
Oh,
So,
smart.
It's a tattoo.
I'm not going to sit here and try to say that I think Miss Marvel's going to be the best thing since sliced bread or whatever. It's not going to be better than Loki, but I am optimistic that it could actually be good. I think it could be good. I like the premise of it and everything. Other than the fact that her favorite superhero is Captain Marvel, that's kind of delusional. But
what do you guys have against Carol?
I ain't got nothing against Carol. I got everything against the actress. I ain't got nothing against Carol. I got nothing against the character.
Okay,
I just hate the actress, man.
What is wrong with Brie Larson that makes everybody so pissed? I don't
First
get
of
it.
all,
her face.
It's a face, it's a body, it's everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything.
Do you want me to go in my
terrible.
dresser? You want me to go in my dresser and get my list of the 27?
Oh my God!
Things that I like about
thank you, Jeff.
Go
I
back.
don't get
Go look at her YouTube channel. She sucks, man. Oh,
did you see that picture of her flat ass that one time? It showed her in the costume and her ass was flatter than the little boys.
Yeah,
that shit was horrible.
She was built like the number one.
So it's her looks.
That shit changed the game for me mentally, man. When I saw that, I
stupid Jeff.
So it's how she looks.
I got you, William.
And if you listen to her, if you listen to her opinions, if you watch her interviews, she just doesn't seem to be a very likable person. If you put up against, they did an interview with her, and they did an interview with some other Avengers, and all the other Avengers were a whole lot nicer and more personable than her. It's like she's the pretty girl that knows she's pretty, and don't nobody like that.
Oh,
nobody like that.
So she's that one bitch in high school,
right?
Yeah. And I think too, with me, I looked at the movie too, and I get being snarky for comic's sake, but like the whole movie, the whole movie to her was one snide comment, and I was like,
yeah,
every line was.
She's close, but
really?
But if you look at everything face now, she about to be replaced anyway with Monica Rambeau. So we're gonna be done with her pretty soon.
I'm excited to see Monica.
Then hopefully,
hold on, William. She's so far out there with some of the stuff that she believes politically and stuff like that. Not like her ideology. That like if she was the chick at a glory hole, like at a BDSM meeting or whatever, and she was the chick on her knees, like with the glory hole or whatever, with the wall and the hole, like a dude would come over there and step up, and she'd be like complaining that the guy wasn't like mixed enough or like.
I'm gonna go to my room now, guys.
If the dude's coming through weren't mixed enough racially or whatever, she'd be bitching.
I'm going to my room.
I mean? Like,
Sally's too young to be listening to this.
Oh my God.
But if you go and look at like Elizabeth Olsen and look at an Elizabeth Olsen interview, then look at hers, you'll see it's night and day, man. It's night and day.
She's Kevin Feige's girl now.
Elizabeth Olsen's really nice.
She surpassed.
Yeah, but Brie ain't.
Nah, Elizabeth Olsen is the number one MCU female character now. Like that's who they're riding on, because Brie has just kind of dropped off the list. I mean, honestly, as far as Brie goes, like, no, listen, this chick actually had a clause put into her contract that, like, literally, like, anybody who interviewed her for any reason, for any of her movies or any of the films she did, had to be not a white male. They had to be either LGBT, Black, or Hispanic, or Asian person or whatever. And that was it.
You just but you can't.
No offense to white men, but white men.
But you can't. But you can't force your ideology on someone like that. You can't do that.
Yeah,
I can't believe that Marvel even gave her that. She wanted a clause. She wanted a clause in her contract that, like, she did not want
no old white men could interview her.
And I thought her whole premise was forced. Because when you go back and look at that movie, the movie wasn't that great. It was all right, but the movie wasn't that great.
David, you tell me. We don't even need to talk about her political crap. Just the movie itself sucked.
Yeah, it wasn't that great.
I liked it at the time.
There was only two things good with that movie. the Flarkin, which was the cat.
The goose.
The goose was amazing. I loved him. And the Stan Lee cameo. Because it was Stan Lee and he was reading his lines for Mallrats.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, big Kevin Smith fan, so I enjoy Kevin Smith's movie. And to see that little nod, I was like, ha ha ha.
When I first started talking to Jermaine, guys, the first thing we started talking about right off the bat, he was like, dude, I fell asleep during Captain Marvel or whatever. I'm like, yeah, man, that shit was terrible. He's
okay,
like,
I liked it at first. I liked it when it came out. Then I watched Endgame. And then I watched Captain Marvel again.
They did that. They did Endgame
no,
so good.
She has a personality about as nice as
she's like a rock. She's like a rock. She only has like one, she can only act one way. She has no range with her.
She's like white bread. She's like clean.
And they did her so right in Endgame too.
Yes.
You only saw her in bits and pieces. That's perfect.
They gave her 7 minutes. That's it. Because they knew, they learned from Captain Marvel. They were like, you know what? The more she's on screen, the more fucked up everything gets. So at that point, we need to go ahead and limit her.
Okay, guys. I'm so sorry.
Well, she was supposed to be in Endgame more than that. I'll tell you right now.
She's supposed to be
an Endgame.
She's supposed to be the quote unquote female of Marvel. She's supposed to be their face.
In fact, I think Kevin Feige said in an interview before Endgame, I think he said something along the lines of Captain Marvel is going to be, the most powerful being that we've introduced. She's going to be better than Thor, and everybody's going to love her more than Thor.
Sorry.
Well, hey, you know what? Scarlet Witch has Emmy nominations backing her. And right now, we were talking about Elizabeth Olsen being the new Golden Child. Guess what? That's why she's got awards and she's got accolades.
And what Brie got? And what Brie got? A YouTube channel.
YouTube channel.
Brie has 7 minutes in Endgame.
She got 7 minutes in Endgame and a YouTube channel. That's it.
That's right.
I bet you.
At least she was cast.
I bet you didn't even let her keep the suit. I bet you got to get the suit back.
WandaVision got nominated for what? 37 freaking Emmy awards?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Like 28 Emmy awards or something like that.
The only show that did better was The Mandalorian, and both of those shows got snubbed.
Yep.
Completely snubbed.
Because they were superhero shows.
Sad.
Come on, man.
The only one I'm not happy with
I haven't watched The Mandalorian.
She complained to Marvel that she was not happy with all of the low-cut cleavage shots that were happening with her and everything in some of the movies. See, I think we need more of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
now we have to hide Elizabeth Olsen from Jeff too.
So look, like I agree. So Scarlett Johansson, so I'm a
Scarlett Johansson,
man, but at the same time, I'm looking at her body and I'm feeling it.
You even thinking? Hey, Jermaine, you even thinking about coming home, ain't you? You even thinking about coming home?
No.
If you got a chance to get with her, you think about coming home.
Jermaine, I was on a date when I went to see Black Widow, and at the end of it, when she's walking, I'm on this date right with this chick, and when she's walking to the helicopter at the end and whatnot.
Oh my gosh! Yes, sir.
I looked at her back
yes,
end,
sir.
and I was like, damn, I would fucking rock that. That's why
I took a picture. I took a picture on my phone, and I still got it.
I was like, I would rock that. I would rock that, kid.
If given the opportunity to fuck Scarlett Johansson, I'd take it.
Of course,
of course.
And then right for her for me is Gal Gadot, but that's just me.
Sally, Stan Lee can tell that you're down to hook up with Scarlett Johansson, and he's not even present in the living realm anymore.
What?
I'm just playing. I'm just joking.
What did he say?
No, but listen, seriously, my point with the whole thing with Elizabeth Olsen is this. Look, in our culture right now, a lot of young men are afraid to talk to women. They're afraid to approach a woman and stuff like that. Men are having less sex and everything and whatnot. And I'm telling you, a part of that is because 20, 30 years ago, they started eliminating nude scenes and they started eliminating sex scenes and everything from the movies. And I think there's a correlation there. I'll tell you right now, when I saw Suicide Squad and they actually had a straight up random titty shot during it, I was like, hell yeah, man. That's awesome.
Random titty shot.
Bring it back.
No, I'm not gonna.
Ooh,
I mean,
boy.
seriously, so I'm just saying, I think that, well, no, I'm not even going to go there. I'm going to save my comment with that, but no, I also am very optimistic about She-Hulk, who has already been brought up. I think She-Hulk could be really good. Just depends on how they do it. I think that, the fact that Abomination's going to be in She-Hulk is going to be cool.
Mhm.
I'm really, really, really stoked about Thor 4. I think that's an underlooked movie right now. I think people aren't really paying attention to Thor 4.
Jane becoming Thor.
It could be really good. I mean,
it could be really good, but the problem is you've got Spider-Man and Doctor Strange coming before it, so that's getting all the hype right now.
No, and that's true. That's a good point.
Thor is gonna be
that's a good point. But Gore the God Butcher is going to be a disgusting villain in the MCU. Like, when people actually figure out what he's all about, and you've got freaking Christian Bale playing him, like, dude, Christian Bale's like, I mean, seriously, he is Batman as far as I'm concerned. Like, I'm sorry, but Edward Pattinson can freaking bark about like being vengeance all he wants. He's no freaking Christian Bale.
Oh,
So-
hell
He
no.
didn't even sound right when he said that. Vengeance. He is sound right. They could have used some kind of bass boost or something to make him sound more like a man. Vengeance.
He sounded like Edward Cullen. That's what I'm saying.
They should have just subbed me in for the audio. If they were to sub me in for the audio with Catwoman, I would have sealed the deal. You know what I'm saying?
He said, this is vengeance, man. Come on, you can go with
You
vengeance.
sound like Edward
This is
Cullen.
this is
I am
vengeance.
vengeance.
This is
Sure you
vengeance.
are. Go back to watching teenage girls sleep.
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman. Do something better like that or something. Come on,
He needs to
man.
grow some hair out his chest.
And guess
Yeah,
what?
man.
Y'all are all wrong, because the only man who will ever be Batman is Adam West.
Facts.
Oh,
Right there. I said it.
Excuse me.
Drop the mic.
Yes,
Excuse
sir.
me. May
Yes,
I
sir.
introduce
Yes, sir.
Michael Keaton?
That's true, but when it comes to like combat,
Yes,
when it
sir.
comes to, like fighting and stuff like that, I'm sorry, but like Christian Bale Batman was like the dopest of when it comes to hand-to-hand
I
combat.
thought Christian Bale. I thought Christian Bale was a better Bruce Wayne than Batman. Maybe that's just me.
I thought
That's just
Christian
me.
Bale was, honestly, I'm going to be completely dead honest. It was more entertaining when I was 10.
Well,
Because I went back last year and tried to watch The Dark Knight, and I couldn't get 15 minutes in without getting bored.
well, William, you missed
That's
out
like
on the
the
Bat.
greatest-
We
that's like the
played the
greatest
Batman
superhero
trailers.
movie ever.
I know it is. And I was bored.
Maybe it's just me though. It could have been just me. Because I still think that Michael Keaton is one of the ones that reigns supreme, but that's just me.
I love Michael Keaton, but honestly, DC just, unless
Well,
it's
hold
Wonder
on.
Woman or Joker, it puts me to sleep.
Hold on, Sally. I'll get to you in just a minute. Let me finish up my list here. So basically, long story short, I'm really excited for Fantastic Four. I think that I don't see how Marvel Studios doesn't get that right. I just
It
don't.
better be better than that last movie they did. Because oh lord, that thing was terrible, man.
Look,
Better be better than the one that came out when I was 3.
Look.
Sucked.
You could have a guy. You could get a crackhead off the street to direct the next movie, and it will be better.
She said 3. Shout out to Jessica Alba though. I love you, bro.
Yes.
Shout out to Jessica Alba. I love you. But
Maybe
she said
5.
3.
What year was it?
God
What
almighty.
year was
Now
it?
About all that.
Original Fantastic Four.
Oh, jeez. Now I'm
I don't know,
gonna
but that
feel
really
old.
terrible one came out in 2017.
Oh, my
I think.
gosh.
It was horrible. It was terrible. It was like one of the worst movies I ever saw in my entire life.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna Google this.
I mean, it was bad.
I'm sorry, guys. I make you feel like grandpas.
2005.
It was a bad storyline. It had a
Oh, I
horrible
was
storyline.
Fantastic
Like I
Four.
say,
They were
shout out
all
to
bad.
shout out to Jessica Alba. She was on the good part of that movie.
Yeah.
Yep, I was
That
5.
was it.
Oh,
That was it.
Oh, no. Michael Chiklis was in it. And he's
Oh yeah. You right. Yeah.
So next, all right.
Nah, wasn't
check it
Chris
out.
Evans in it?
Yes, he was in it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the
How the
hero.
hell that?
That's
Now
what I'm
y'all,
talking about.
now
I was
Check it
guys,
out, y'all. Let's
I was
move
there
on.
for him.
now how the
move on.
Game
hell?
on.
Let's
How the
move
hell
on
did
to
he-
the next topic. Let's move on to the next topic, and then we'll open up the floor to this smorgasbord of shit going on here. So, anyways, I'm gonna have to make sure I edit this this video specifically for Geek News Now, just so I don't get in trouble. No, I'm just playing.
PG rating.
Yeah. Put a G. Yeah.
No, I mean, listen.
I can see Dave now. Well,
dude,
Jeff,
Dave already told me
this isn't really family friendly.
No, he already told me that what he's looking for is unique and educational. Well, I'm telling you right now,
educational and something he always throws out there: be bold.
That's
well,
true. That's true.
I'm being
That's
bold.
true.
This is the MCU's Bleeding Edge, and I take that shit seriously. We're the Bleeding Edge.
Oh my
baby.
gosh.
That means you're not going to get your typical, MCU show out of us. Like, we don't play that. So, I mean, we like to make things interesting. But, okay, so phase 4 and phase 5. Does anybody if you don't have anything on this, just, you don't have to BS it or whatever, but does anybody have anybody that they're looking forward to see introduced in the MCU in phase 4 and phase 5? Characters from the comics or whatever that we haven't seen yet, that we're going to potentially see. So I'll start with you, Jermaine, then I'll go to David. Jermaine, is there anybody specifically that you're hoping to see be introduced?
When you say hoping, you mean like somebody I know is going to be introduced?
Or maybe we don't even know about it yet, but you're hoping it might happen.
Okay, well, I don't know who might come up, but I am totally psyched about Jonathan Majors playing Kane. I'm totally psyched about. I mean, because I don't know if you saw Lovecraft, but I mean,
did.
That caught me like totally off guard.
I caught some of Lovecraft. Yeah, he was great.
His character, like the depth to his acting ability, like whatever role he plays, he's gonna bring it, and I'm ready for it. I don't even know who Kane is. I just know that he's gonna bring it.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's really well done, Jermaine. Great comment, and I think you're right, because I think that when it boils down to it, Marvel Studios does the best casting there is in the industry, as far as I'm concerned. They cast the shit out of everything.
Agreed.
And, I mean, seriously, it's crazy, and like they don't get enough credit for it. I feel like nobody ever even talks about it, and I mean, seriously, like when it boils down to it, the I'm trying to remember who exactly does the casting.
It's Amy something or another. I think it's her name. I can't remember.
I got it.
I think it was Amy something.
No, it's
I'm so sorry.
There it is again.
Oh God. Sorry, guys.
I'm sorry, guys. This is driving me crazy if I don't find out who it is.
I'll Google it.
Got it.
I got it.
Who does the casting in Marvel?
Finn. It's Sarah Finn.
Sarah
Finn does such a damn good job with casting that it's like, seriously, I mean, they've barely made any mistakes at all throughout the entire MCU with their casting. I mean, you tell me, guys, can you think of anything where they've really made any serious mistakes other than Brie Larson?
Yes.
Right
That's the
off.
biggest one. That's the biggest glaring mistake.
Everybody else is great. Just Brie Larson.
In hindsight, okay, so in the first Iron Man, Terrence Howard was amazing. But when his contract went south and they rehired Don Cheadle to be
Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle is better.
I can't see anybody else in that role now.
I love Don Cheadle.
They need to go back and redo Iron Man 1 and put Don Cheadle in there.
Don Cheadle is the only. Rhodey is more likable than Tony to me.
No, you guys are good.
Okay.
All right.
Who's
So
next?
so basically, Jermaine, going from you to David then to Sally. What are you looking forward to? Like, who are you looking forward to popping up in phase 4 or phase 5, David?
Well, and we already kind of know this. I mean, we know about Deadpool because obviously Deadpool 3 has been announced, and being that Fox owns Disney, or no, let me take that back. That Disney owns Fox, I'm going to assume that they will try and wedge him into the thing. But that also includes X-Men. I'd love to see the X-Men. I'd love to see a decent version of the X-Men. The first 2 X-Men movies were good. First Class was okay. Days of Future Past was okay. X-Men 3 was a joke. I'm sorry.
Yes. Thank you, David.
X-Men Apocalypse. Somebody fell asleep on that one.
Yeah.
And
they really did. What's his name? The actor there that played Apocalypse.
Oscar Isaacs.
Oscar Isaac. They did him wrong, man.
But so, I mean, it was completely. I haven't seen anything. Hey, Jeff made it.
What's up, Jeff?
Finally.
Jeff has made it.
Good to see you, man. Hey,
Jeff has made it.
Let David
Jeff
and
has
Sally
made it.
Let David and Sally go ahead, and then I'll go
Yeah,
ahead
y'all-
and I'll
yeah,
I'll
go
talk
ahead,
you
go
into
ahead.
the show.
Yeah, go ahead.
David.
So as far as the X-Men goes, I'd love to see the X-Men. I'd love to see a decent rendition of the X-Men, and just have them steer completely away from the Phoenix Saga, because that's
Why
been
are
done
they
to
always
death.
tied to that?
I don't know, but it's been done to death, and it's just like, oh, you're killing me with this Phoenix stuff.
Yeah.
And none of it has been faithful and good. So that's mine.
I hear you, and we're definitely going to get into the X-Men more. So, like, don't think that that's the end of that topic, because we're going to be talking X-Men here in just a minute. But just so you know where we're at, Jeff, it's good to finally have you on here, man.
I know. It's finally to make it on.
Hey, whatever effort it took you to figure it out and everything and whatnot, I appreciate you, brother. We're glad to have you here.
I don't even want to admit what I did wrong. So
I wouldn't either. I don't blame you.
It was very simple.
Yeah, I know. I figured that. But that's okay. That's okay,
Yep,
though. You're
it's all
here.
good. It's all
So
good.
check it out. All right. We are doing basically what characters or whatever are you looking forward to hoping being introduced in phase 4 or phase 5 that haven't been in the MCU yet? Like, who are you from the comics looking forward to? And we're going to go to Sally, and then we're going to go over to you. So, Sally, for you, who are you looking forward to seeing getting introduced in phase 4 and phase 5?
I mean, she wasn't introduced in phase 4, but I'm excited to see Jane Foster come back. Just as Thor, that would be so cool.
Thor, yeah.
I also just noticed that banner down there right before I started talking. Thanks, Jeff.
You're welcome. Jeff, what about you, man? What do you think?
I can't wait to see a whole lot more on Kane. I think that's going to.
Kane. Okay.
I think Kane's going to surprise a lot of people. I think Ant-Man and the Wasp, that movie's going to surprise a lot of people. I think we're going to find out that he's a more vicious villain than Thanos. And so I'm hoping they dive real deep into that. I think they will.
Wait
They're
a
going to
minute.
have to.
You think he's going to be what? More than what than Thanos?
He's going to be a lot more crueler, a lot more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a whole lot more crueler, a lot more meaner than
Jeff,
Thanos.
you have a TV on in the background?
Yeah, you want me to turn it down?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, hang on. There we go. Is that better?
I got 3 guys.
All right.
Thank you, man. So
Yeah, no. I'm sitting right here on the couch. That's fine.
You're good. No, I mean, we actually were just talking about Kang just a minute ago, and the fact that Jonathan Majors is going to be playing Kang. And
yeah, Jonathan Majors is going to be an awesome star for that too. Awesome.
That's right, and that's right where Jermaine was at here just a minute ago. William, what about you, man?
I got 3. 2 as a character, 1 as a group overall.
I love it. Give us 5.
I got Sentry. I want to see Sentry come into play. I want to see Blue Marvel come into play. I want to see the Nova Corps come into play, particularly the Nova Corps. I gotta get them. Sentry, always want to see him in the MCU. Blue Marvel hasn't never been anything past the comics. I want to see him do his thing. Those two guys by themselves are very, 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 very powerful. I want to see those two characters, but the Nova Corps in particularly, that would be so cool to get them in there.
And I want to see Nova.
Yeah.
Nova, yeah. Honestly, there was a couple of times in What If where I was thinking, man, if Nova was there, they could have introduced him right there. That would have been a perfect spot.
Nova would have been a perfect member of the Guardians of the Multiverse.
Right.
Yeah.
He would have.
Yeah.
They really didn't have a cosmic element to that team.
Nope.
I really thought that the selection of those team members was stupid. Like, I would have thought the Watcher would have picked better people to like be on that team or whatever, but whatever. Party Thor just didn't do anything for me. I'm looking forward to seeing Ghost Rider. I want to see Ghost Rider in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I'm ready for Ghost Rider, baby, because I can't wait for that part of the MCU to come to life. That
Pattinson ain't no joke, boy.
Yeah, like that mystical, Darkhold, Mephisto, supernatural, vampires, werewolves, witches, warlocks.
I'm excited to see vampires in the MCU. That would be cool.
I mean, I think that, and then also, and this is kind of like a weird thing to pick because we already kind of know what's going to happen. But Daredevil and the Punisher need to be in the MCU, man. Like the MCU is not right until we got Daredevil and the Punisher. It's that simple. And I haven't seen the Punisher Netflix series, but if it's even close to as good as the Daredevil Netflix series is, then
you'll love it. You'll love it.
Yeah.
Then I'm telling you right now, like
John Bernthal is awesome.
I mean, I'm telling you right now, like I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know. I've already heard the rumors that multiple times now that they're going to give Charlie Cox's Daredevil a Disney Plus series. They're going to bring back the whole cast from the Netflix Daredevil series and everything. That's all been coming out. But
put that on Disney Plus.
But that's the thing. How's it going to work on Disney Plus? Like
they just brought that out like 2 weeks ago. They said they were going to bring them in.
And I
don't know when they're going to do it.
This
but
goes back to what we were talking about earlier, William, with Moon Knight. How is Daredevil? Daredevil was successful on Netflix with Marvel Television with an R rating, with blood and like gore and like sex and everything. How are you going to then put him on Disney Plus and have that work?
Can't. You really can't. You really can. Not to get the full antenna of the character. You can't.
They did take a bunch of movies, like classic Disney movies, off for racism. So
that's true too.
Like
that's
they could
too.
probably like make Disney Plus R-rated for something.
Did they take them off, or did they just say?
They age restricted them. They age restricted Dumbo, Peter Pan, and I forget the third one.
Well, wait till they see that meme that I'm working on that I showed you guys in the beginning of the show with the Titanic.
I'm still trying to figure out how the heck you got. I'm still trying to figure out how the heck you got Disney Plus. You ain't got no Weekenders on Disney Plus. I'm still trying to figure that one out. That's just me though. Yeah. Not the Weekenders. Come on, man.
Okay, so again, changing gears. I'm gonna go ahead and drop a trailer really quick just to give everybody kind of like a chance to breathe and maybe grab a drink or whatever and whatnot before we kind of try to wrap this up. Like we're at an hour and a half right now. I think we could go for another 30 minutes and go for 2 hours. That's what I'm planning on doing. But if anybody needs to dip off or whatever, just let me know and that's fine. But I'm gonna drop a trailer and then we'll get right back after it.
I'm not supposed to be like everyone else, am I?
Everyone fails at who they're supposed to be, Thor. The measure of a person, of a hero, is how well they succeed at being who they are.
For the first time in 1,000 years,
path. I do have a ride, though.
We are beyond diplomacy now. You'll get what he came for. War.
There won't be a kingdom to protect if you're afraid to act.
As Guardians of the Galaxy back together again.
Miss Marvel is a new kind of superhero. But at the core of all of it, her story is so universal.
Miss Marvel is one of the newer characters in the Marvel comics. And when one comes in that grabs the world's imagination like this, the questions are, when are we going to bring Miss Marvel to the screen?
When Miss Marvel first came out, we had such an incredible reaction.
It was so incredibly popular because everybody could see themselves in her.
I never saw a young teenager of color, specifically a Pakistani, in a comic book. Are you kidding?
You promised you'd be cool.
I am cool.
The casting process was vast. When we discovered Iman, we knew that she was Kamala Khan.
It was a unanimous decision.
Yeah, I can't comprehend this right now.
And then, of course, we've got a really incredible team of directors, Bilal Fallah, Adel Al-Arabi, Mira Menon, and Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy. And all of them are taking the material and elevating it.
So human. It's about a teenager figuring out who she is and about relationships. Family and friendship is at the heart of the MCU canon. That's what's so exciting about the story that we're bringing, is that we're going to introduce you to a new family that's also going to be part of the wider MCU.
This doesn't make any sense.
I've been away for many months now, and I've had a revelation. The true purpose of a sorcerer is to twist things out of their proper shape. Stealing power, perverting nature. I see at long last what's wrong with the world. Too many sorcerers.
I'm starting to believe that everything is meaningless.
Learning of an infinite multiverse includes learning of infinite dangers. And if I told you everything else that you don't already know, you'd run from here in terror.
You still think there will be no consequences, Strange? No price to pay. We broke our rules just like her. A reckoning. The bill comes due.
The bill comes due. Okay, that was like a fan-made trailer for Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. And so, again, moving on, Phase 4, Phase 5 preview. I want to get into everybody's, what do you think is going to be like absolutely terrible potentially in Phase 4 and Phase 5? And I'll start with you, Jeff, and then we'll just go right down the screen over to William and then Sally, and then up around the corner to David and Jermaine, and I'll follow up at the end. What do you think might potentially really suck in Phase 4 and Phase 5?
That we're going to lose a lot of heroes. I think we're going to lose a lot of superheroes. I think we're probably going to lose Thor. I mean, we're probably going to lose Doctor Strange.
You think we're going to lose Doctor Strange?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think Doctor Strange will be gone.
Nobody's laughing at you, Jeff. They're just laughing at the shit I threw on the screen underneath.
Oh my gosh.
That's so funny.
Interesting, yo. We are not here. We are not Disney Plus rated over here on the MCU's Bleeding Edge. But Jeff,
I think we're going to see Doctor Strange really, really, really. I think when the Spider-Man movie comes out, that's going to tell us more about Stephen Strange's background. But I think Doctor Strange is going to be gone. And the only reason why I say that, is right now in the comic books, there's a series already going that's 2 issues in the death of Doctor Strange. So they're already
I refuse to hear this.
preparing people. They're already preparing people for that. So I kind of feel like that's what's going to happen.
Jeff,
I think Wanda is going to be the one Wanda is going to be the badass.
I wouldn't be surprised if Marvel Studios has already signed Benedict Cumberbatch up for like a 10-year contract.
They probably have. They probably have. I mean, we know they bring them back. I think they'll bring Gamora back too. There'll be some way that they'll bring her back with the Mind Stone. There'll be some things they do. I think they'll bring the Black Widow back too. I mean, you know,
yeah,
they do that. That I agree on. That I agree on.
Yeah, I feel like the Skrulls.
I miss
I think
her.
the Skrulls are already involved in all of this. I just think it's all going to come out. You know, it's just going to.
Yeah,
it's just all going to come out. But yeah, I think they can all come back. I think that the Infinity Stones are going to be used, but I think a lot of it's going to come out in the Spider-Man movie, and then I think we'll see more of it in the Doctor Strange movie.
Well, now I need to watch those goddamn Spider-Man movies.
Go ahead, William.
No, we talking about things that's on the horizon that's gonna suck.
What do you think is gonna suck? Yeah, out of Phase 4 and Phase 5, could potentially suck.
I hate to say it, but I gotta go with Moon Knight.
Really?
I gotta go with Moon Knight. That's a concern. Between Moon Knight and Ironheart, I think those two have the most potential to suck. I like the character, but I just think because it's on Disney Plus and they're already so limited in what they do, I just think Moon Knight has a chance to suck. I think it has a chance to suck. I think it has a chance to be bad. But because they're gonna try to make it family friendly, and he's not a family friendly character by no means. No means.
Mouse must burn.
You know, he's really up there, and you know, he's out there in La La Land, and he kills, and you see blood and everything like that. You're not gonna see any of that on Disney Plus.
Oh my god. I was saying this like last week or like 2 weeks ago that there should be blood if you're punching someone across countries.
Or if you're shooting, somebody need to get shot.
Yeah.
Go back to those old G.I. Joe cartoons. All that shooting and nobody get shot. Come on, man.
They had parachutes.
That's true too. They did have parachutes. That's true. That's true.
Even out of a helicopter.
But for the most part, nobody got shot. Just saying. But I think Moon Knight and Ironheart are the two that can suck. And I like Reby, but I just think those two have the most potential to suck.
Well, that's very ballsy of you to say. What do you think, Sally?
This is going to be very controversial.
Oh, Lord.
Cinematically, I think it's going to be great. But Hawkeye being set during Christmas just sits wrong with me.
You know what, though? I'm going to say this.
Christmas.
I'm going to say this. Forget Hawkeye. We need Ronin. That's the hero we want. That's the hero we need. Forget Hawkeye.
I love Ronin.
Give me more Ronin. That's all I'm saying.
I love Ronin in Endgame, but it just doesn't sit right with me.
I feel you.
To make
Christmas time.
I agree with you.
A Christmas special, basically.
Let's think about it. And again,
they're also already doing a goddamn Christmas special.
And another series ain't nobody talking about.
Yeah. Holiday special, Guardians of the Galaxy. Have fun, guys.
Yep. Yep.
I
am Groot.
That's gonna be Mary.
Why not? Star Wars did it.
I am Groot.
What? Star Wars made a Christmas special.
You've never seen the Star
You never
Wars
seen
holiday special?
you've never seen that?
Star Wars.
Go
is
to YouTube.
Yeah.
And look up the Star Wars holiday special. Watch it, and then you probably want to kill yourself.
For personal reasons, I freaking hate Christmas. And that personal reason being this is Halloween, everybody. This is Halloween, motherfuckers. Sorry.
Home Depot put up all of their Halloween decorations 2 weeks ago. Put all the Christmas stuff out.
Yeah, I know. It's Halloween. Halloween, motherfuckers.
Okay, Sally, calm down now.
Sorry.
David, what do you think, man? What's on your suck radar?
So right now, and I'm probably going to ruffle some feathers myself. And this is a movie we haven't talked about yet either, that was announced but hasn't been talked about, and that is The Marvels, which is
I forgot about that. Facts.
Captain Marvel 2. And again, it all boils down to Brie Larson. And yes, Miss Marvel will be in it. And honestly, if they had chosen to introduce Miss Marvel within the Marvels movie or within this movie, I think I would have been more like we were talking about. You introduce Spider-Man, you introduce Black Panther and Civil War, and then they got their own movies. So introduce Miss Marvel in Captain Marvel Part 2, and then give her series that she deserves. So that's the one I'm. That's the
Makes
one
sense.
I'm almost looking at that one, going, I may wait for Disney Plus on this one. I may
Makes
not
sense.
even go to the theater to go see this one, just
Yeah.
because it's got Brie Larson in it.
Makes sense.
Okay,
Whatever.
Jermaine, what do you think, Jermaine?
So because David beat me to the punch, I have to. So I'm going to quickly say Captain Marvel, and it's for many of the reasons that David articulated. And on top of that, the fact that I fell asleep in the movies during a Marvel movie, this just doesn't happen. And then so my number 2 is going to be Black Panther 2. So hear me out. Okay. So the reason I'm kind of apprehensive about Black Panther 2 is because you're not going to have T'Challa, right? And so it's kind of like, what is going to happen? And so it's kind of like you're kind of scared for them, and whatever they do to change it up. And we kind of talked about this earlier, even before I think we went live. All of the possible changes to it are too innumerable for you to fathom, and so it's going to be completely different. And because it's completely different, it's like how exactly will that fit? And I'm kind of scared for the franchise.
Most definitely.
Makes sense.
And I got to tell you, William, I would bet money that Moon Knight will be better than Ironheart.
That still don't mean it won't suck.
I think Ironheart's going to suck. I really do. I mean,
it has the potential to suck because, like I say, the hatred from the comics are coming into it. But I just don't trust Disney Plus with Moon Knight. I don't think they're gonna get that character down at all. Unless
that's a really good point. No, that's a really good point. There really is. That's something we could talk about for 2 hours. How they're going to make this whole situation work with these characters like the Punisher, Ghost Rider. Like, how are they going to work on Disney Plus or in the MCU with Disney? They're not going to.
Right.
So they're going to have to figure something out. I mean,
if it was Netflix, I got you. But it's Disney Plus, so.
Well, they might have to. That's okay, Sally. Sally, if you got a dip, sweetheart, that's fine.
Bye.
Bye, Sally.
Bye, sweetheart.
See you later.
I have no idea how to get out of this thing.
See you later.
Peace.
Later.
Bye.
Have a good night, my dear. She's a cute kid. She's fun. I always have the most interesting people on the MCU's Bleeding Edge. But anyway, so yeah, I think Ironheart's gonna suck. I really do. I think that
unless they gear it toward kids. If you gear it toward kids,
choosing to do her origin story in Wakanda Forever, I think is going to end up being a bad move. I don't think that's a good decision. I think that it's already bad enough that we lost Chadwick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if they wanted to do something, if they wanted to add a character, they're already going to bring Namor into that film. Like, we already basically know that for a fact. We're going to get Namor, the Submariner from the comics. He's going to be in Black Panther and be like an anti-hero or whatever. We're going to get, you know, some form of Atlantis. But I'm highly concerned and pessimistic about Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Just because, let's be honest here, nobody can ever play Black Panther as good as Chadwick Boseman. Like, nobody can. It's that simple. It's not an emotional thing. It's not like a, you know, it's not what it's. I don't care if he was alive still. I would still say nobody can replace Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther.
Kind of like Hugh Jackman. Kind of like Hugh Jackman and Wolverine.
Yeah, I mean, his moments in the MCU that he's already had, were those moments he had in Infinity War and Endgame, you know, in Captain America Civil War, were just so powerful. Like, I mean, he dominated the screen. Like, I'm telling you right now, I watch trailer reaction videos all the time on YouTube. I love watching them for old MCU movies and stuff. And when I watch people react to the Captain America Civil War trailers, and you see people's faces when Black Panther popped up on the screen, people were flipping out. You know what I mean? Like, besides Spider-Man and like people seeing Spider-Man, it was Black Panther that everybody was like really excited about. And so I just think that it's going to be really, really tough for Ryan Coogler to figure out how to make that movie work without Chadwick. And I mean, anybody else can jump in on this if they want. Go ahead. I'm sure everybody.
I know, and I know a lot of people had issue with them even doing the movie after he passed. A lot of people had issues with him even doing it. If it was me, I wouldn't have, because without Chapman, it don't mean the same. You just can't, man. You can't.
The thing with it is that so doing this, they're taking a real big risk here because, like William said, you can't do it without Chadwick. And if you replace him if you replaced him and said, okay, Shuri's the new Black Panther, or if you just replaced him right out, if you just said, okay, we're going to hire another actor and he's going to be the Black Panther from now on, you would divide the fandom, I think, within that, because you wouldn't be able to make the right decision. There would be no decision that was going to please everybody.
Right.
So
I mean, sure, it ends up being in the comics anyway, eventually, but that doesn't mean it's going to translate over to the movie. I wouldn't have done the movie in the first place. I would, Chadwick, rest in peace. We're going to leave it alone, but that's just me.
Well, they could always have Brie Larson become the Black Panther.
No, sir, they can't do that. No, sir. No, sir. Will nobody go see the movie? Will nobody go see the movie? No.
I mean, why not? She's already the most powerful being in the universe and everything.
No, she ain't.
Not? She might as well be Black Panther too.
Nah. We need to keep her away from that franchise altogether.
Oh.
Keep her away from that franchise altogether.
What's that, David? Were you going to say something?
I was actually just thinking. We were talking about people were anxious to see, and I was thinking Guardians 3, because you're going to have Adam Warlock.
Facts.
In Guardians 3.
But let me ask you a question, David. Who asked for that?
Everybody who saw Guardians 2.
Not me. I never asked for that. I've never been.
But you know what's so bad about it is that in the comic books, Adam Warlock had such a huge role.
He did.
The Infinity story.
He did.
I think people were expecting him
way before now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Long before now. He should have been in the Infinity Saga.
I don't think it's going to make a lot of sense myself. I don't know how they're going to make it. I don't know.
Because nobody asked for him.
You know what I love, guys? I love when somebody like is on here, like Jermaine just now. He was making a drink or whatever, or taking his drink, and then he looked around and saw the shit I threw up on the screen on the bottom or whatever, the text. And I see people's facial reactions to the stuff I throw up, and it's hilarious, dude. It really is. I love it. I'm telling you, I like making you guys happy and making things interesting.
Oh, can I say one more thing that I'm looking forward to? And I think everybody will agree with this. I want to see Rogue come back.
Yes.
Take Captain Marvel's powers.
Yes.
And that will be it for me. That'd be that's
Then you
it.
don't have to have Brie Larson anymore.
That's it. No more Brie Larson. She could put her. You could put her in that coma in a hospital. They did. You can leave her there. You can leave her there. Yes.
You know what? Too. You need to hire somebody for Rogue that's not a little 14,
girl.
15-year-old kid.
Yeah.
You need to hire a
woman.
An actress.
Wait a minute.
A woman
Didn't the chick? No, wait. The chick who played Rogue was what's her name from True Blood?
Yes.
Yeah.
But she was a kid when she played it, though.
Right now,
No,
she may have been a kid back then, but you watch her on True
Oh, she
Blood.
was? Okay.
Yo,
I thought she was a teenager.
She looked pretty damn good in those shower scenes, bruh.
I thought she was a teenager when she played Rogue. My bad.
Yeah, she was, but when she was on True Blood, she was all woman, baby, and like her shit was looking right to me. I can tell you right now, I was feeling it. I mean, she looks pretty damn good. I forget her name, but
Anna Paquin, I think.
Paquin. And that chick from Daredevil too was on True Blood. That played Karen or whatever on Daredevil, and she was naked on True Blood too, and she looked fine as hell.
Oh yeah.
But that's what we need.
Oh, yeah.
We need Rogue coming to finish off Captain Marvel. I put out at least Gen 6. That'll take care of Gen 6 Captain Marvel already.
William, when I was reading the X-Men comics back in the 90s, every single one of the female X-Men except for Jubilee had like the same dimensions. They had like triple D breasts with like huge thighs, huge ass, like curves and everything. They all look like that. Every single one. That shit really twists you up when you're a little kid and you're seeing that, dude. Like
because it brings a false expectation of what you think women in the real world is gonna be.
Dude, Storm, Jean Grey, Rogue all had like massive boobs. Like no joke. Like straight up.
They were drawn by guys who lived in their parents' basements.
Like, they're ready to fall out.
Kind of like anime being written and drawn by guys and they living in their parents' basement. Yes. 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 That's right.
Well, Kevin Feige says he wants more inclusivity and diversity in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I say that we should bring back some titty shots and some nudity.
So you want to So you want to equal it out. You want you want the inclusion, but you also want to even it out with more booby shots. Okay, I got
What's
you.
more
Makes
inclusive,
sense.
man? Like when
Makes
dudes
sense.
take their shirts off and everything and whatnot, and all the ladies are like getting all hot and bothered about it, and everything's fine. Well, like I'm just saying. I mean, look.
You know what? All those ladies who get hot and bothered by it are the same ones that go, "Oh, Chris Hemsworth, look at that chest. Oh, Chris has his shirt off this time."
But yet and still, boy.
I was just watching a video on YouTube where Chris Hemsworth went to like some random office or whatever, like on the Ellen DeGeneres show. And like when he was walking into the cubicles to meet the women and everything in the office, they were like fanning themselves and everything during it and whatnot. And like,
but if that's us looking at Scarlett Johansson like that, we get called sexist.
Yeah.
You are sexist men.
Disgusting men.
You're disgusting men. Disgusting. But yeah, y'all get to put it all out there for Chris Hemsworth. Man, get out of here.
Well, like I said,
Scarlet Fire, come on now.
Yeah, ScarJo is a beautiful woman. I mean, she's definitely getting older. There's no question about that. But she gave us some good years in the MCU.
Yes, sir.
She did. No, she looks good, but she's definitely aged a little bit. I mean, she's getting older.
I mean, yeah, of course she's aged, but I still think
she's beautiful.
She looks good.
She still look good. She still look good. She still look good. Yeah.
No, she's beautiful. I'm only bringing it up just because I watched Iron Man 2 the other day, and it's crazy seeing her in Iron Man 2 and then seeing her in Black Widow. You know what I mean? Like, she looks a lot different.
It's 10 years. 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, like she looks like a kid in Iron Man 2. In Black Widow, she looks like a grown-ass woman. But I'll tell you right now, I think Black Widow was 10 times better than Shang-Chi. That's just my personal take.
Of course.
Oh,
no. Yeah, I haven't seen Shang-Chi yet.
Well, look, I still love however you pronounce it.
Wait a minute.
I love it.
Who doesn't agree with me on the Black Widow with Shang-Chi? What do you think, David? What's your thoughts?
No. Here's the problem with Black Widow. Black Widow was a good movie. Don't get me wrong. I really liked it. It was just released at the wrong time.
Yeah, because it was a people.
They should have released it not because of COVID. They should have released that in between Infinity War and Endgame.
Right.
That's
where
when
a time
we
period
needed
took
it.
place. Yeah.
Yes, and that's when we needed to see it. It was so out of place, and you watch it and you're like, I don't even care because you're going to die anyways. You know, I know you're going to live long enough to go to Vormir and sacrifice yourself. So I honestly, I don't care what happens to you at this point in your life. Now, had you done it in between the two, or not in between Infinity War, it would have been in between Civil War and Infinity War, because she was taken off for Infinity War at the at the beginning. But anyway, all that aside, it was just released wrong. And Shang-Chi, I really like Shang-Chi. Again, because I have an affinity for those characters that are the obscure characters, like with the Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, not everybody knew who Shang-Chi was.
Right.
And so that just kind of, that's like, okay, here's a clean slate, and you draw me an excellent picture. And they did just that.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you. Most definitely.
That's my thoughts.
Now, who was in agreement with me on Black Widow being better than Shang-Chi?
Me.
Oh, I agree.
I agree.
We'll chime in then. Go ahead. What are your thoughts?
No. So, how do I say this? So, I just thought that the movie in and of itself wasn't well developed. I thought that there were elements of it that were kind of rushed. And as I told you today, Michelle Yeoh, is that her name? Michelle Yeoh. Like, I wish more of her character was put front and center, because she commands attention. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Unlike the lead, he doesn't really command attention. I thought he was compelling, but she commanded attention, and I thought in my eyes, she carried the movie.
Jeff, what did you think about the Black Widow film?
William,
let's get Jeff in quick.
Jeff, I loved it, but I didn't like the Taskmaster character at all. I did not like the way they portrayed it.
Yeah.
I didn't like the fact that they made the little girl be the drama over Natasha's head. I didn't like that either, because I never knew anything about that story. I mean, that just like came out of left field. And they didn't tell us anything about Clint and how her and Clint met. They still haven't told us any of that.
Yep.
You know, and then they give us the extra credit scene with her sister Yelena meeting Valentino, and her telling her, you know, this is the guy that killed your sister. You know, he's a cutie. I mean,
it just gives a bad guy for Hawkeye.
Right. It doesn't
even
tie into
what for the Hawkeye series.
Yeah, and I agree with Ronan. Ronan needs to be the one that we're watching instead of Hawkeye, and maybe by bringing Kate Bishop in, you know, that's going to bring the Young Avengers out. Maybe they will put him in the Ronan uniform. I don't know. I hope they do, because they're going to introduce Echo. You know, Maya Lopez is coming in, and Echo has a lot to do with the Ronin too. So
she's going to be having her own Disney Plus series coming off, an offshoot off of Hawkeye already. That's already playing.
Right. So I'm wondering if that's going to be Ronin, if she's going to like somehow bring that in, and then I don't know, maybe they tie it off.
She is Ronin in the comic book. She becomes Ronin, and she has the same exact abilities as Taskmaster. She can copy any type of martial arts or any type of fighting style.
She's like the only deaf character, I guess, or deaf actor right now. So I mean, that's pretty cool too. And I read a little bit of her story in the books, but not a whole lot. I mean, I knew that she was Ronin.
She's a typical Daredevil female character. Like, she's just like Elektra or Typhoid Mary. She's somebody that Matt Murdock hooked up with, like, you know, like they saw each other or whatever. And she's Kingpin's stepdaughter.
Okay, and I knew she fought with the hand. You know, I knew she fought against the hand, I guess, and a lot of stuff too. So, yeah, I mean, I guess they'll bring all that out. But no, that's what disappointed me with Black Widow. But it was a great movie. I mean, I enjoyed the movie. I loved watching it. But, you know, I agree with what was said. It should have been between Infinity War and Endgame.
Well, that's
you
a
know,
good
so
point,
that we
though,
would
with
have known
Echo.
what was going on.
Jeff, that's a good point with Echo, because I think that's the main reason why Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin is going to be in the Hawkeye series, is because of Echo. You know what
So
I mean?
you think that,
and that
okay,
connection.
so maybe they'll tie that all in, you know?
Yeah. William, going to you, brother. I'm Black Widow.
I just thought Black Widow was a great movie. I do agree with David. The timing was off, so to speak. But you knew that going in that it was going to be a prequel. You knew that going in, so that shouldn't have been too much of a shock to all the moviegoers out there. And there were some loose ends that didn't get tied up, but a lot were. But I did not like Taskmaster. That's true. I agree with you on that, Jeff. I did not like the Taskmaster thing. I thought it was so over the top and it wasn't funny. But I like
Tony
the movie.
Masters would have been so much better, I think.
Yeah.
Tony Masters.
Yeah.
That's just me.
But I just love the fact that we finally got something from her backstory, because we didn't get anything at all before this movie. She was just known as an Avenger and as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's it. So just give her a little bit of character development behind her. You got to know her a little bit. So that's why I love the movie. But I agree with everything said. The timing was off. It took too long for this to come out. And I also didn't like the Taskmaster. Even though you can retcon it, it was still done poorly. So that's my thing. And plus you got to see Scarlet in white.
And hey, like Jeff just said, we got Echo coming in the Hawkeye series. She does the same stuff as Taskmaster. So she basically is gonna, they're not gonna have two characters like that, But listen, I want to go ahead and play something real quick that is a little bit of a surprise for Jermaine. I think that he's gonna like this.
I love being with people. It's the most incredible thing in the world.
What are you doing? Oh, this is nice.
That world may change and evolve, but the one thing that will never change, we're all part of one big family. That man next to you, he's your brother. That woman over there, she's your sister.
Higher, further, faster, baby. That's right.
We're all part of one universe
Wakanda forever!
that moves ever upward and onward to greater glory.
On your left.
I've lived a lot of lives. But I'm done running from my past. We have unfinished business.
Who's we?
When you love something, you fight for it. We're the ones who changed everything.
Sweet.
Amazing.
Jermaine, tell me that shit wasn't dope.
It was awesome, bro. It
Was
was
that
awesome.
good?
It was awesome, even though it was like a recap of shit of stuff that I've seen in the past. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Did you like the
to see
Stan
it all
Lee?
together.
Did you like
Yes.
the Stan Lee in the beginning?
Yes, of course. Like, who doesn't? Like, for real.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's why I wanted to play that, just because I'm telling you right now, young kids these days connect with Stan Lee. Like, they might not listen to their parents, but these young kids that are MCU fans, they listen to Stan Lee. They respect Stan Lee. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I see him on TikTok and Rizzle and these other platforms and whatnot. Like, you know, and what really drives me crazy is that you have these people in the movie industry that like poo-poo the Marvel Studios and the MCU and talk bad about the films and about the fans and that we're stupid and everything for liking these movies and this is like, you know, immature content or whatever, or you know, whatever they, you know, whatever. And it really makes me laugh. It really does, because
Man, I get made fun of all the time for collecting comic books. I'm 51 years old.
The ethos of Stan Lee, that's your brother right there. That's your sister. You know what I mean? Like equality. You know what I mean? Like the ethos that's always been there with Marvel Comics for decades and decades and decades, that like, you know, of equality and acceptance and respect. You know what I'm saying? And kindness. Like, you know, it's powerful. It's a powerful message. And these films, these titles in the MCU, they carry that message. And I'm telling you, I think a lot of these people in the film industry that like just hate Marvel Studios, they just hate the whole message. You know what I mean? Like I really do. And I think that, I don't know, man. When I saw that video, oh, you're good, man. You're good, William.
All right, man. How about you guys? Thank y'all for having me.
Time, bro.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah, take care.
Later, guys.
But my last point is just that I feel like the message from the comics with Stan Lee that's also been infused into the Marvel Cinematic Universe with these films is a message of good versus evil. You know, like it's the best of us. And I feel like honestly, that message that's being carried by Kevin Feige in all these films and pushed is one that we need right now. You know, like we need it, you know, as a world, as a country. But I'll go to you, you know, David, what are your thoughts on that whole Marvel Studios celebration video? Like, what do you think about it?
Honestly, I loved it. And I love the fact that, like you were saying with Stan Lee, and one of the things that got me about him too, or about that speech that he had, was that he said something about it. Our world is always evolving. It's always changing. And I thought that held true, because I know a lot of people were upset when Chris Evans decided not to come back. Robert Downey Jr. decided not to come back. Well, they killed Robert Downey Jr. But there were a lot of people going, well, you can't have anything now because you don't have Captain America. You don't have Iron Man. But now you've got Sam stepped up as Captain America and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You still have these characters. They're still going to be there. They're just going to be different people accepting the mantle. And it's, I mean, we even talked about it a little bit as far as, Black Panther 2, the Wakanda Forever. Things happen, and, we just evolve, and we become something new that wasn't exactly what you had, but maybe it's better.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's a great point. I honestly am optimistic that you never know, even with Ironheart being in it. I think Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever could still be a really great movie. It might be better than Black Panther 1. It could be. If they do it the right way, it could still be a great film. The pieces are all there, like, I mean, but I feel like seeing that Fantastic Four logo at the end of that video, man, like pop up at the end, dude, just like sets me off.
So when this first came out, we were doing our Marvel Monday show, and we watched that whole sizzle reel right there, and that 4 at the end, and everybody was like, "Oh, Fantastic Four," and I was like, "No, it's Phase 4. It's just the 4 for Phase 4. Don't get your hopes up."
That's funny.
I just wanted to be devil's advocate on that one.
That's funny.
It's just Phase 4.
I think that, I mean, Jeff, what do you think? I think that there's a lot of pressure on Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios when it comes to Fantastic Four. Like, I think that, hey, everything they touch seems to turn out to be gold. But at the end of the day, I think they probably feel a lot of pressure to make sure that they get everything right.
I like the first 2 Final Four movies. I mean, I did. It's going to take a lot to work it in. I mean, I don't know how they're going to work all the Fantastic Four in unless they just reboot the whole story.
You actually like the other Fantastic Four movies?
Yeah, I did. I like both of them. I thought they were good.
There were 3 of
them. I
them.
like both of them.
Weren't there, guys?
No, I didn't like. I didn't like the last one.
Oh,
this last one that came out. No, I'm talking about the Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Yeah,
Fantastic Four. Right, those 2 I enjoyed, but this last one, no, this last one just choked completely.
For that time period, they weren't terrible movies, but
no, for that period, yeah, right,
yeah,
right.
Where we're at now, you have to believe that Marvel Studios is going to be capable of putting something together that's beyond anything.
Yeah, they're going to have to reboot the whole thing. I mean, they'll have to do a whole new movie right from scratch. And they may do that with introducing all this multiverse stuff in, like they're doing in the Magic and Darkhold. They're going to bring Blade in. They're bringing vampires in. They're going to they'll phase them in because the history of Kane goes back to Fantastic Four more than it does any other group. I mean, it's more related to Fantastic Four because Nathaniel Richards is related to Reed
and
Richards.
the Avengers, because if you go back to the Avengers and Fantastic Four, because if you go back to like old school Kang from like the 60s and 70s Marvel comics, it was usually him clashing against the Avengers or
and
the
if
Fantastic
that's what they
Four.
intend on doing, then they're going to have to work that in. I don't know when they'll do that or how they'll do that, but I think they're slowly feeding us that with this Magic stuff and the multiverse stuff.
You're going to see a lot of different villains. That's a whole nother topic. The villain,
the Darkhold is going to introduce vampires into the MCU.
No, we're going to get
Blade's going to be coming in, and Blade's going to be the vampire assassin. So
that's true, Jeff. But we're going to get villains like that we haven't even seen in the MCU.
We've never even imagined.
We're not going to get one. It's not going to be just a Thanos. We're going to get multiple villains. We're going to get Mephisto at some point. We're going to get
the end of Loki when it showed all those branches of timelines going off. When He Who Remains was sitting there and he looked at her and said, "I'll see you soon," and gave her the wink. I mean, he'd already told them what was going to happen. He said that you're not going to like my other variants. You know, they're more evil than I am. And all those branches. Yeah, there's going to be a lot.
I'm more excited, Jeff, with Marvel Studios having a chance to do Doctor Doom than I am the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
I think Doctor Doom could actually be like he could be the alpha dog of like the MCU villains if he's done right.
He will be. Yeah.
I mean, if he's done right.
Right. That's what I was fixed to say. They've got to do him right, which they will. They will. I've got all the faith that they will.
Yeah, and I mean, we're going to get Galactus at some point too. They're going to do Galactus, and that's going to be crazy when that happens. I mean, how that's going to work out, I don't even know. But we're about to be in an interesting place in the MCU with villains because, we're going to have a bunch of different villains here in the next couple of years. We're going to have like multiple ones to choose from as far as like, who's out there.
A lot of badass evil villains.
Yeah. It's going to be really interesting. It really is. I mean, honestly, I think that you could see Dr. Doom in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. It's possible that they could stick him in there. What do you guys think?
I don't think Namor's going to be a nice guy. I think Namor's going to be pretty.
He's going to be an anti-hero. He's going to
fight. I think he's going to be a badass too.
Yeah. What do you guys think? David, going to you. I know this might be a little bit tough for you, Jermaine, but going to you, David, and then to Jeff. What do you guys think about the potential of us getting the X-Men, us getting mutants in phase 4 and phase 5? Are we going to get mutants at least in phase 4 or phase 5?
I think we'll get them. I think it's a matter of how they're going to introduce them. If it's going to be with, I've heard some theories that the Darkhold is going to be where we're getting the vampires from, that vampires are basically going to be a variant mutation, and that's where we'll have the mutants, but then part of those mutants will be vampires, not necessarily X-Men mutants, but the vampires, and then you'll have Blade come in and he can take care of the vampires. But in the same thing, you're introducing, okay, hey, look, mutants. Here's your X-Men. So you could either do it that way or just in the multiverse. I mean, you want to sit there and talk about Multiverse of Madness and Quantumania.
But David, do you really want to see that as like an old school X-Men fan? Do you really want to see them bring those characters in with the multiverse?
I think if they bring them in, but they don't bring in the original Fox cast, if they just basically rebooted all of the X-Men and said, okay, we're bringing in the X-Men, and here's a bunch of new people, and this is Wolverine, and this is Cyclops, and this is whoever else that you're going to introduce, and if they bring them in that way as a reboot versus it's a multiverse, so we're gonna bring Hugh Jackman in, and he's going to be Wolverine. Yeah, Hugh Jackman's had his time.
Hugh Jackman's done. He's done.
Yeah,
He's got.
Jackman's not going to be back around.
Get somebody else. I always said Norman Reedus from Walking Dead would have been ideal as Wolverine.
Wow.
I just don't know if I think he might be
brooding.
Too tall.
He's got the proper build. He can ride the motorcycles. He's perfect.
Isn't he too tall though?
No, Norman Reedus is short. That's the thing. And Wolverine's only like 5'3" or 5'5".
He's like 5'2". Yeah, Wolverine's like 5'2", but he's also stocky.
Right. And Norman Reedus is like that. I mean, he's not like Superman buff, but he's got some weight to him, and he's a shorter guy. He's a shorter gentleman. So
it's going to be a lot of pressure trying to cast that role.
The problem with Norman Reedus at this point, I think, is that if they would have cast him and they would have done this like 5 or 6 or 7 years ago, yeah, he would have been perfect. But I think
because they want a Wolverine
with him, so.
Yeah, they want a Wolverine now. At this point, they're going to want a Wolverine with a younger actor that can play Wolverine for 10 or 15 years.
Exactly.
They're not going to. That's how it has to be.
I think that's why they cast this kid that's playing
Adam Warlock. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's why they cast him as being as young as he is.
He's young.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a baby face looking kid. But no, I'll tell you. What do you think, Jeff? Are we going to get mutants in phase 4 or phase 5? Or are we going to actually get them?
Might get them in the latter part of phase 5, maybe. I don't know how. I don't know how they'll introduce them. I mean, they're going to have to lay because I mean, you think about it, you've got the Inhumans, which to me is basically the mutants, so they're going to have to introduce a lot of different things. But I don't know, maybe they'll do like one or two characters into a movie. You know what I'm saying? Introduce them during a movie. Like bring somebody in as Cyclops and show it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Otherwise, they're going to have to like do a whole movie.
Even if they brought them in on the series, on one of the Disney Plus series,
because they're going to have to do an origin story and explain where they come from. Because everybody's going to be wanting to break that down. How they got here and where'd they come from. So they're going to have to set that up somehow. And I don't know how they're going to do that, but if they do, I think it'll be towards the end of phase 5.
My thoughts are that the Eternals film is a film where they could actually use the Eternals.
They could. I don't know a lot about the Eternals.
No, well, the whole concept of it is, the whole premise is that the event they're so concerned about that's 5 days away or whatever, again, is like the collected cosmic energy from all the infinity snaps with the infinity gauntlet on Earth. That energy has collected and is now causing the celestial egg on Earth to be born. Okay, so what I'm saying is that cosmic power and those snaps could also be responsible, if you think about it, for activating the latent X gene in mutants. You know what I'm saying? Like one of those snaps could turn that X gene on to where all of a sudden all these people that were mutants suddenly start having their powers and stuff like that. But even if you do it like that, how do you then explain Wolverine and Professor Xavier and Magneto and everybody that were around for decades and decades as mutants? It's very difficult. You know, and hey, my hat's off to Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige because they're the best when it comes to coming up with this stuff and figuring it out.
And honestly, if you did it right, like in the first X-Men movie, you had Magneto, and he was a Holocaust survivor, and all of this other stuff, and they brought that up, and back in the late 90s, early 2000s, that was feasible. If you want to say I've got a Holocaust survivor today, and especially with the timeline of the MCU, to where it's like 2023 or 2025 or whatever it is, they're like, you're dead. You've got to be
that makes no sense.
It makes no sense, exactly. So what they do is they do it like they did with Iron Man. Iron Man, you know, he got he built his little arc reactor in a cave, but he did it in Afghanistan versus I think in his original origin story, I think he was in World War II.
Japan.
He was in Japan. Okay.
Yep.
So there you go. You know, they just said, okay, we're just going to modernize it. We'll just bump it up to where these people will be a current issue. Like, I don't know. You could go so far as to say
Rwanda, 1990s.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jermaine, to get you back into the conversation, brother, going back to that video, and on X-Men too, if you want to get in on that, but going back to that video with Stan Lee and everything and whatnot, what were your thoughts on seeing that lineup of all those Phase 4 films that are going to be coming out and everything and whatnot? Were you stoked seeing any of that stuff?
Yeah, most definitely. Like I was really excited. What was it? Even Groot, like you know, everyone loves Groot. But the idea that he would be bringing on new characters, like I'm real excited to see what characters would come along with him. What else? Also, I don't know if it was in the video itself, but Thor. Like, I want to see what's going to happen with Thor. How will things change as a result of he's not going to have Loki to play with and kind of like, you know, interrupt him. But I want to see who's going to be his his detractor, if you will.
Well, we're going to get Loki in Thor 4.
We are? Okay.
Yeah. Taika Waititi's already said that Loki's going to be in it. So, I mean, which Loki it's going to be, which variant of Loki, I have no idea. I'm assuming it's going to be the one from the Loki Disney Plus series. That's who I'm assuming is going to be somehow.
And you know what? As I'm thinking, like, who's to say that Loki, you know, God of Mischief, won't be the reason for mutants? You know what I'm saying? Like, why not?
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. Here's a little something interesting for you. Going back to the Disney Plus series that have already come out, WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki. I know my MVPs as far as, like, you know, secondary characters that I felt like really stood out during each series were in WandaVision. It was definitely Monica Rambeau. She was my standout character. I felt like she really just like handled her business and took over almost. In Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Oh, okay, David. You're good, man.
See you guys later.
All right, David. Take care, brother.
Yep. You too. Bye.
Thanks, man. Okay, so let's wrap this thing up. Jermaine, Jeff. So basically, with WandaVision, I thought it was Monica Rambeau. With Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I thought it was John Walker. I thought he was like the standout character for me in the series and whatnot. With Loki, it was definitely Sylvie. I think any blind person out there would be able to figure out that it was Sylvie. And I'll tell you right now, out of the bunch of them, I think Sylvie has the biggest potential in the MCU to continue on and actually have a productive, impact in other series and movies, whatever. What do you guys think? Going to you, Jermaine. Do you agree with me? You saw WandaVision. You saw Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Do you agree with me, like, on my picks for MVP? Or who was your MVP, like your standout secondary character for each series?
I'll be honest with you. I don't think that I'm that great of a Marvel aficionado.
You don't need to be
to say which sidekick would be.
No. Who stood out to you out of the secondary characters in the series that like you thought really made a difference and stood out?
I don't know if I can say that. I don't know if I can say. I don't know if I can point to anyone, to be honest.
Do you agree with what I picked?
So
do you see why I picked those people?
Was Sylvie kind of like the person who was
the variant of Loki that was female with the blonde hair?
Oh, okay.
The one who killed Kane at the end of.
So she was awesome. She was awesome. I forgot about her. She was awesome. She really was awesome. And just the dichotomy between her and the Loki that we know, in a lot of respects, she was stronger, badder than the Loki that we know, right? And so
she was.
Yeah. So I feel you on that.
Yeah, no, most definitely. What do you think, Jeff? We lost you on, bro. We lost your audio, brother. I could talk for him, but he might not like some of the words I would drop out there. Jeff.
What about now?
There you are. Yeah, you're good.
All right.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, these earbuds, if I touch them, they'll cut off. I've got to turn that thing off. But no,
it's okay.
Sylvie, wasn't she the Enchantress?
Yes.
All right. Yeah. In Loki, she was. Yeah, you're right on that one. WandaVision, I liked Agatha. I thought she stood out to me, but Monica Rambeau is going to be involved in a lot more coming up anyway, so we're going to see her.
Well, they're giving Agatha a series now, so.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
We're going to see her come out in probably. She'll probably come out in Ironheart. She'll probably make an appearance there. She may make an appearance in Ant-Man and Quantumania. She may. So I don't know. I know she'll be in Captain Marvel too, for sure. So
I wouldn't be surprised.
She'll be in a lot more before then,
I wouldn't be surprised if she stands out in Captain Marvel 2 more than Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Yeah. She'll probably be in Secret Invasion too, I bet.
Oh, she's going to be. Yeah, they already said she will be. Yeah, she'll be a part of that series. What about...
Yeah, they said they're going to tie all that together and it's all going to go back. I guess they're all going to tie together. So, Ironheart, Secret Invasion.
What about Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Did you think that John Walker was kind of like the standout, the Monica Rambeau of that series?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I love that series, though. I guess what I liked about that is it was actually a movie, in 6 episodes. That's what I liked about that. It was basically watching a movie. I watched each episode, but then I went back and watched it all in like 2 hours, So, but yeah, he did. He stood out and he did a good job.
I felt like for me in the finale, his energy that he brought to the finale and like the small bit of time he had on screen was unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
Like what he brought to that finale when he just showed up and like, even after he had just killed that dude and everything and everybody was pissed off at him, and whatnot, Falcon, Captain America, and Bucky didn't talk to him. They didn't tell him anything. They didn't say, you need to do this and that and whatever and whatnot. They just all looked at each other and they all looked eye to eye. And John Walker stepped in and started kicking ass, and that was it.
Yeah.
Well, imagine all the pressure he was under.
Yeah.
Imagine being under that much pressure, you know. So
yeah, I think that
my cat's fixing to jump up here. So
oh, that's okay. Well, listen, guys, we've been going for 2.5 goddamn hours. So pardon my French, but
y'all have, I haven't, but y'all have.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and call this Jeff. Either way, man, we're happy that you managed to get on and everything.
Yeah, I am too. I'm glad I figured it out now, because next time it'll be easier.
Yes,
you know?
Most definitely. And that's the most important thing. And Jermaine, thank you for sticking it out with me, brother. Everybody else fell off on us, man.
I had to, man. It was my first time, so I had to.
You had to rock it all the way through with me, right, bro?
To the end.
I feel you, dog. I feel you, man. I got you. You're looking kind of faded too, bro. You got a buzz going?
Look, for about 4 hours I've been drinking.
Yeah, I know. That's good though. Hey, man, I told you, bro. We keep it interesting on the MCU's Bleeding Edge, man. Those guys over at Geek News Now are gonna see this video and be like,
I love it, man. It was the energy that everyone brought, and like I learned so much from you all. Like I'm excited.
Hey, and you know what, man? This was a show with all new people that had never worked together at all or recorded together at all.
Okay.
All just on their own.
It's the first time I've ever even done this stuff.
That's what I'm saying. So that just shows you right there how like good of a moderator I am, that I know how to make this, I know how to facilitate this stuff and make it work. You know what I mean? To where I can have 5 people that have never recorded together or whatever and still have it be organic and gel and be fun.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? And bring out the best out of everybody, to where they're having a good time. And dude, I'll tell you right now, I guest on other shows with David and like with William and everything and whatnot. The shows that they do are nothing like this. They're not fun like this. Nobody's breaking up. Nobody's cracking up, laughing and shit like that on their shows. Everything's all serious and everything. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right.
I can't do that, man. I'll tell you right now, dude. I have fun with that girl, Sally, man. She's young. She's like a kid to me.
Are you talking about the guys that you do the podcast with?
Some of the guys that were on here that were on the show tonight. People who see this video are gonna be in different countries and everything. It's not gonna be nighttime. It might be whatever, but it's nighttime for us, folks. Some of the guys that were on earlier, none of them have ever recorded with each other at all. This was a totally blank slate show with all new people.
Wow.
Except for Sally. I've worked with Sally before. I met Jermaine today or yesterday. Me and Jermaine met, and that just shows you like how fucking cool, me and Jermaine got along and whatnot, to where I'll tell you right now, Jermaine, if I had to give you any advice when it comes to making content and having guests and guesting on shows and stuff, I'll tell you right now, you can do what you want. But I think that personally having a personal connection and actually talking on the phone to people before you record with them and getting to know them is the way to do it, man. You know what I mean? Because I don't feel like you would have been able to enjoy yourself on the show as much as you did if we hadn't gotten together and like gotten to know each other a little bit.
Okay. All right.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
Yeah, man. I mean, plus like, hey, I think that it just shows like, effort, that I'm not afraid to make an effort to talk to a person, and get to know them.
Yeah, you were like mad cool. Like I laughed so much today because
I had you cracking up earlier, dude. When I started throwing up stuff and whatnot on the screen and everything, you were dying over there, man. It was funny, bro. We had it going there for a minute. Things were rolling. You missed it, Jeff. We had it going. We had some whack, strange shit going on there for a minute on here. Things got kind of crazy.
Well, all right, fellas.
All right, man. Well, listen. Yeah. Hey, listen. Jermaine, thank you very much. Jeff, thanks for being on here.
Yeah, man. We'll do it again.
This is True Knowledge. Jeff S., the co-host of the MCU's Bleeding Edge. Yes, the rest of my co-hosts are not here. It's just me solo with my guests, and we had a great time here. This is going to be a long-ass video, so I just want to say thank you to all of you who actually stick it through and watch this whole damn thing. If you do, you will be rewarded because this is a good-ass video. But do me a favor, please. subscribe to our MCU's Bleeding Edge YouTube channel, follow our podcast, and, leave a very nice comment in the comment section to let us know how much you enjoy our show. And if you don't like us and you want to leave some negative comment, you can go ahead, but I'll probably go in there and rip your ass up anyway. So, I'm not gonna allow you to play games like that. So, I'm just joking. No, I'm just playing. But anyways, we'll be back soon on the MCU's Bleeding Edge. So for Jermaine, for Jeff, for William, for David, for Sally the MCU girl, peace out. Yay, yay.